All right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in. Come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Band Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macramalla intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in. He's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock a lager with some sirloin bites.
Good morning, EST. What's happening, Nasties? Dusty and Gager with you. Gager, what's up?
Man, what a day.
What a day.
What a day.
What a freaking day.
Lots of smiles. Lots of smiles. Lots of great feedback yesterday. I was telling you when I came in here, my son unfortunately locked his keys out of his car, so I had to go bring the second set
Classic
to him.
kids.
And listening on the I took the long way purposely.
Yes.
Just to listen to Reed and
Yeah.
And it was surreal, Dusty, to hear Reed, first of all, earlier than usually when I listen to him, and him saying EST and all, and the radio hits, and Jay, it seems like these guys have been married for like 10 years. It's
I love when we were watching, he goes, hello, Nasties.
oh my God. Yeah, it was. We all jumped up when he said that.
Reed Wilkins. Yeah, it was like at an NBA dunk contest when somebody throws it out. We're like, ah! It was awesome. That if you did not check out the Reed Wilkins show yesterday, it was awesome. He's great. I listened the entire way home, and he's hilarious, man.
It's Reed Unleashed, man.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And Jay, for a guy who's never he's worked around here a bit over the last while, but having never done a show on a regular basis, Jay rode shotgun perfectly with Reed yesterday. So very excited about that show. Reed Wilkins show, weekdays from 3 to 6 on TuneIn, iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, right here on YouTube. And how about those guys in the afternoon as well? You and how's that settling with you and Anso there? I was jealous of both of you. This is great.
We were both nervous. Like Nanso and I were both saying, "Are you sweating?" I go, "Yeah, I'm sweating." Are you sweating? He goes, "Yeah, I'm
He was
sweating."
pacing around.
Oh yeah, he was wearing a little groove in the carpet over there for a while. But no, I think we kind of settled in and started laughing a bit. It's. I mean, Nanso. He doesn't miss a beat either. So it was again a lot of great feedback. Even in the Paris Jewelers text line, G-Off in the YYZ, listen to the podcast versions of both Reed's show and EST Afternoons late last night. Absolute bangers. Great job as well to Jasmine. How about a conch for everyone? G-Off in the YYZ.
A conch for everyone. I love that today.
For everyone. A conch for everyone. G-Off in the YYZ. A conch for everyone. G-Off in the YYZ. A conch for everyone. 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 A con
Yeah, it was great. Bobby LaFrench says, you guys can start posting the Read Show on podcast form. I'd love to check it out. Yes, as Jeff and YYZ said, it is up there. Just search the Reed Wilkins Show, and you should be able to find it. Sub to that as well, and it should be pretty good. This one's in. It says, guys, great shows yesterday. Got to say, I didn't enjoy those ad breaks in those shows, but I get it. LOL. Like, man, what was it like? You guys were gone for like a minute.
Yeah.
It's not like we're running to like 7 minutes of spots. And I promise you, it'll never get there. We're looking at like, 2 minutes of commercials, quick sports update and back. So, yeah. I mean, how do you think we're going to pay for 4 guys? Come on. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. But, it was a shout out to Matt Awanek for making all the commercial systems work. I don't know. Like if Maddie came in today and was like, I'm leaving, I'd be like, we're in a lot of trouble. So no, it was a great day. Matt was here a long time yesterday. And it was overall just what an incredible day for Edmonton sports talk. I mean, what an incredible day for Edmonton. I mean, you've got Draisaitl signing. You've got the Elks obviously coming off a rare Labor Day win and then extended day at Edmonton Sports Talk. I can't tell you how happy I am with the way everything went yesterday. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Reed had me laughing a couple times yesterday. Like,
yeah,
God,
his. I said it before. I chuckled in the car on the way home, laughing because he's. I got to go back and see the exact reference, but basically
ridiculous.
just said that he's getting paid in vintage X-Men comic books. It was perfect.
I got home and I walk into the house at like I don't know. I was like it was 4:45ish, maybe 4:30. Get home and Tam and the kids are back from school and the show Reed's show is playing on the on YouTube, and I said, hey, what do you think of the new show? And my wife was like, I can't turn it off. I was just like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So the real Not So Slim Shady is in and says, yesterday was by far the best day of radio ever. EST is now all that needs to be on. And that's what we didn't want you to turn away at 1:00 anymore. That's why we added EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager. And of course, the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. And I have to tell you, pretty happy with day one. And we're not even to like, can you imagine after like a crazy Oilers game the next day, we're going to be on the air for 12 hours, just losing our mind. Trev just gives me the slow glance around the monitor. Like, okay, here we go. And then straight from Reed's show into pre and post.
That's what I'm saying. That's
overload.
That's going to be crazy.
Dano is in and says, Reed is a pro's pro.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's, I said it before, the real measure like is somebody doing something and make it very difficult and making it look easy. And Reed is that. It's just for him to take that much time off. And you could tell he was getting ready too. He came up to me yesterday, he goes, and he talked about one of the, he was doing the Oilers that hurt the most leaving.
Yeah. That was his top 3.
Joaquin, I want to talk to you. And it was like full serious, right? He was like, let me know what you think of these. And he went through his list and I go, honorable. And then at the end, he was like, it was a serious conversation. I go, yeah, that's pretty good. And Doug Wade or whatever. And he goes, yeah. And of course, you honorable mention. And then walked away.
And just walked away. Yeah. Like yesterday, I'm sitting there at some point and Reed's like, I'm sure Dustin probably already has his succession plan for me. I was just like, he's just, what a great jolt to the office too.
So
man.
good.
Oh, he's good.
My mom phoned me like last night afterwards, and she goes, "That was great," because she's become a nasty on the island, and she listened all day too.
Yeah, no, it was just a phenomenal day. Phenomenal day. Andrea from Calgary's in and says, "Good morning. Can I get a conch for my husband? We are celebrating our 14th wedding anniversary today. Even after telling him last night that I'm adding more EST to my life. Well done on the new programming, everyone. Yeah, conch for Andrea and her husband. That's real nice." The Nielson Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. For the best deal at the best price, go see Daniel and his team in Fort Sask. Tell them EST sent you. You'll get 15% off accessories on your new ride. They're your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s and heavy duties. Visit their website at www.southfortchev.com. Chris Sadaway's in it says, seamlessly brought in 2 new shows. Well job, EST. It's almost freakish how natural that was pulled off. Completely professional. Who do you think you are? Yeah, I am. Right? Damn it, right. That was, it was an excellent day. Thank you to the thousands and thousands and thousands of you that checked it out yesterday. And no reason to click off of iHeart or tune in. We've got you covered throughout the entire day here with Edmonton Sports Talk. And what we hope you'll find is a very entertaining chatter as well. And lots of good messages already rolling in over there. Right before we went on the air today, I got a message from Atif. It's called the Back to School song. So, I mean, I'll say this. If we play Atif's Back to School song and there's not like one single Leon Draisaitl signs mentioned in it, I'd be stunned. I haven't listened to this myself. I mean, we'll probably get to it at some point here in the 6 o'clock hour. I don't know what Atif is working on for a Back to School song, but apparently that's a thing. So we'll. I do. I'm very curious to hear this. I'll probably have to get to it at some point. We did remove the huge bubble that was above Gager's head on the graphics yesterday. Even when I turned it on yesterday to watch in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Southport Chevrolet, our presenting sponsor. You'll see them above the Nielson Show logo right up there now. But yeah, I came in last night for a couple of hours and changed all the graphics and got rid of that big bubble. You know what I had when I was in last night? I came back after put the kids to bed, so it was like 8:30. I had a finished long drink again.
Oh,
those are good.
Delicious.
Those are good.
That
the blue ones have sugar. The ones we had yesterday, the white ones, no
really?
sugar. Somebody said the blue one with the sugar is even better.
That after a long day at EST, that went down quite well.
Oh, and they go down smooth,
Yeah.
man. It's pretty delicious. If you've not tried the finished long drink yet, look for it at your local liquor stores because it is pretty good. Gene's Apprentice in the Nasty Chat says Atif song. I know. I don't know if we needed the Atif Back to School song, but we've got one, and we'll probably get to it at some point here in the 6 o'clock hour. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Cruising up over 50 already, so let's hammer the thumbs up and sub to the channel if you have not. We are now at 10.1K subs. Wow. So that's exciting as well. Let's lay out the show for you today. We'll get to your morning announcements coming up. That's good is on the way here at just after 6:30 today. We'll crack some packs for Wayne's Sports Cards. I've been so busy lately. I haven't even been able to go to Wayne's. Usually I roll in there like 2 or 3 days a week. I rolled in there yesterday like, how you doing, stranger? And I just looked exhausted. Wayne's like, busy days. Yeah, I was like, yeah, man, busy days. So anyway, we'll crack some packs around 6:45. Pretty loaded show, actually. Wyshynski's going to join us just after 7 o'clock. He put together he paid the whole summer off with like paternity leave, like just get away with the kids. Nice. Very nice, very lucky guy. So Wyshynski's going to pop in just after 7 o'clock today. He had a nice article on the winners and losers of the Draisaitl deal, so we'll get into that. I think for Cool Bet today around like 7:25 because there's a big NFL game tomorrow night. What we'll do is we'll go to coolbet.com. We'll click on the Thursday nighter. And you can pick a player prop. I'll pick a player prop. And Trev, you can pick a player prop.
Oh, my gosh.
And we'll put all three together in a nice little player prop parlay. So all the player props for that game should be up. So we can pick a touchdown. We can pick yards, whatever. We'll figure it out. So we'll get to that around 7:25, kind of build that together. Free advice coming up for Damon Bunting. Free advice, of course, started as a fantasy football segment. And it is week 1 of fantasy football. So save your questions for 7:30. And at 7:30, just pound the box with all of your fantasy football questions, and I'll try to give you as many answers as I possibly can. Macramalla is going to join us today, EST legal analyst, and guy who wears a gimp suit and ball gag to court because you dress for the job you want, not the one you have.
Oh my God.
Vance Van Vander Van coming in hot on text of the day. His brother, Tommy Rubella, is also in this morning already. This is good. EST legal analyst and guy who keeps losing renovation cases because of his inability to pronounce the L in caulk. These two brothers, man, like Rubella and Vance Van Vander Van on just a Macramalla intro podcast is something we could probably roll out here. EST legal analyst, and guy who giggles and says, "All rise," to his genitals before romantic time with his wife. What a way to start the show here. Like, are we firing on all cylinders or what?
This is great.
Holy smokes, a conch for the boys. So yes, Macramalla will be by. And then in the third hour of the show, kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. That hurts for the personal injury lawyers over at James H. Brown. And Geroy Simon on the turnaround of your Edmonton Elks. Winners of 4 of their last 5. Should be 5 of their last 5 because they kind of blew one with the kicking game against Montreal, but they've been outstanding as of late. So jam-packed show. We'll get to the wrap, of course, for William Huff as well. So yeah, real fun one today. Real fun one. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today. Family owned and operated with 22 stores in 4 provinces across the country. They've got the exclusive Star Wars and Marvel wedding bands. I was actually listening to the MCTV podcast on the way in today.
Okay.
Lots of talk about Batman and stuff.
I gotta take the dog for a long walk and listen.
There
to
you go.
guys.
Perfect. That'll be good. Shop in store or online at www.parisjewelers.com. If you've not yet checked out the MCTV podcast, one of our partners here at EST with our old buddies, Mark Bijot and Corey Graham. If you were into movies, Marvel comics, all that type of stuff, TV shows, one of Gager's and I's favorite podcasts, like just outstanding.
It's awesome.
Outstanding. So, make sure you check that out. One of you could win text of the day. Well, I mean, it's tough. Vance and Van der Van is kind of, Rubella and Van der Van are already in the ring here.
Yeah,
like,
they might.
That's going to be tough.
That's really tough.
Text of the day today, of course, for A&W. Start your morning off right with a regular coffee and an egger of your choice for just $4.99. Bacon and egger or the sausage and egger on a seeded bun or an English muffin. The choice is yours. But we all know it'll be tasty either way. Plus, the offer's available all day. It's like a breakfast offer, but it's available all day. So don't snooze on the deal. An egger and a regular coffee for only $4.99. It's a limited time price available at participating A&W restaurants in the Edmonton and Greater Edmonton area.
I had a sausage and egger over the weekend. Me and my wife, we grabbed the dog and went down to the dog park with our sausage and eggers and lattes. And I ran into Louis and his wife down at the dog. Yeah.
Were they also lady and tramping some sausage and eggers?
No, they weren't.
Great.
They were in full workout gear, looking good and stuff.
One of those couples.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Unbelievable.
Had the frisbee for the dog and stuff. My dog was just sniffing butts everywhere. But,
Their dog's out there doing backflips and catching the frisbee, like
working, coming over, dropping it, ready to go, hopping back and forth. Looking like
your dog sniffing his own nuts.
Just, where you been?
What's that thing? What's that? What are you supposed to chase after that?
But
That sounds ridiculous.
Man, Dusty, I thought of you yesterday going home, coming in the doors, and what did my wife was saying that was awesome. Like, what did your kids say about yesterday?
Oh, they were loving it.
Yeah,
they were loving it. Yeah, Elizabeth thought Reed was hilarious.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, it was. Man, it was just a great day.
Yeah,
it was just a really, really great day yesterday. I mean, to be able to run 12 straight hours of content every single day, like a year after having our radio station shut down, is just, I don't know, like when we launched EST, we're like, okay, it was like the 4 of us, and then we brought in Trevor, like, we basically did as many shows as we could without killing all of us. And then we're like, man, Maddie, I remember Maddie and I sitting around and said, like, when do you think we probably get to like full day? He's like, probably 2 to 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, but
Wow.
1 year. So yeah, it was a very exciting day yesterday. And I'm telling you, man, both EST Afternoons and the Reed Wilkins Show, 2 great shows. So you got to make sure you check it out. And we saw the numbers yesterday. People just didn't leave. I mean, it was a big day yesterday, obviously with Draisaitl, and we're gonna get to that a little bit coming up in your morning announcements. But 2 guys in the goalie was great yesterday, and it just led into EST Afternoons, and people stuck around, and they stuck around for the Reed Wilkins Show. And the more you'll get of EST Afternoons and the Reed Wilkins Show, I think the more you'll like it. Obviously, during hockey season, we'll be hitting on a high for sure. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us and sub to the channel. Of course, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, just tell your buddies and they can hop in as well. Wheels is in. It says Reed was talking about Chariots of Fire. I was laughing my ass off. Well, that was kind of funny because like the first note of that song, made me think of Chariots of Fire.
Yeah,
and it's funny, but then he came back after the next song. He goes, first of all, that song made me think of Closing Time by Semisonic.
Yeah.
I was like, man, the fact that you did he's just funny. Like Reed's just a funny dude. Like I don't know what Ched was doing to Reed for so long, but man, this guy is right where he belongs now. It's really exciting. All right, let's get to your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Yukon and McCord, who will probably work here one day as well. Ding, 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 indeed. What a day yesterday for Edmonton Oilers fans. Tyson Barrie gets a PTO in Calgary.
So happy.
Best of luck to Tyson Barrie in Calgary. Gager, as you said, they got some money and they don't have a great blue line, so probably a good landing spot for Barrie.
The only names I know on that blue line are Uyghur and Rasmus.
Somebody's got to play.
Anderson.
Rasmus Anderson. Yeah, somebody's got to play. So we'll see what happens with Tyson Barrie. But as Trev said earlier, nice and close for him. He can meet Draisaitl and McDavid in Red Deer at the Donut Mill.
Exactly.
And they can hang out for a bit. Do you ever think Gasoline Alley's becoming too commercial now? Like, I miss old raw Gasoline Alley. There's so much going on now.
There's so much there.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
You can go on either side usually now too.
Well, the one side, like if you're coming from Calgary to Edmonton, the left side, like the west side, I guess. Yeah. There's a lot going on over there.
There's tons. And it was nice when it was only Pete's too. Like, it's almost too many options now. Like, it was always just Pete's, come home. That was it. Now you're thinking there's tons of other options.
Yeah, there's so many things now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't even really have a go-to.
Don't you?
No, like when, actually, I guess we do. When we're coming through with the kids, it's usually like our first stop. They'll usually put up their iPads and stuff and then watch like to Calgary. There's a gas station on the right side just past Staples. Real nice gas station there. So we usually stop there. They got good bathrooms and stuff. There's like a booster juice or something. And I guess that would be my only go-to, but I don't know why we got sidetracked on gasoline. That's on me. Gasoline Alley talk. Leon Draisaitl yesterday. We talked about it a little bit on Two Guys, and I was on TSN 1050 radio this morning with Karolnik, and it was funny. They tweeted out, they're like, we're gonna have Nielson on to talk about the Draisaitl thing, and the first reply was from somebody who's like, nobody cares about the Oilers. Can we just move forward with Leafs talk? I was like, oh man, suck it up for 2 seconds. Like, it was kind of funny, but like outside. So we asked yesterday on Two Guys, Cass and I yesterday, outside of so let's say post 1990, like post Stanley Cups, outside of you coming back for a second time, beyond McDavid lottery, was yesterday the best day?
Ooh.
Like, you lock up Leon Draisaitl for 8 years. Now we don't have to spend the entire season going, are they going to trade him before the deadline because they don't want to lose? And McDavid's coming with. Like, McDavid, yesterday, I think yesterday was one of the top 5 days non-Stanley Cup related in franchise history.
Well, the one section, like, Leon's very calculated when he speaks. The one section where he says, hopefully I can be an Edmonton Oiler for the rest of my life. That's what really hit home for me when he said that. And he keeps cards close to his chest. He did say that him and McDavid had discussions about the future. I think it bodes really well for the Oilers. And the biggest thing, and we talked about it yesterday, Dusty, is the fact that now the Oilers actually have a chance to have one of their superstars begin and finish his career in the city he got drafted in. Leon talked about the kind of love and admiration that you have for the team that drafts you. I mean, look at me. It took the Edmonton Oilers draft me to get me out of the mean streets of Kitsilano. There's a love for the team that does that for you. And he says Connor's going to make his decisions, but I was thinking about this actually on the drive in about the whole situation. Well, who would Connor like to play with? And it came up in my mind because this is the question they asked Wayne Gretzky, what would have brought you back for one more year and things like that. And he said, actually, if I could have played with Pavel Bure, I would have come back one more year.
That would have been it, eh? Like,
that's what would have brought Wayne back.
That would have been ridiculous. Bure would have scored 75.
I know. But it just, not everyone can play with McDavid. And not everyone can play with Draisaitl. That's been evident, trying to find the proper combinations here for years. So, and those two play great together. And it doesn't always mean that going somewhere else you're going to have, I don't know how you could say they would have more success playing with someone else. But, Leon said it. He's my ride or die partner. And this is what they want to do.
It never made sense to think that he was going to go anywhere else. And the same logic can be used for Connor McDavid. The two things any free agent wants is to get that bag, bro.
Yeah.
And with Daryl Cates as your owner, I mean, there's no shortage of, you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
The team will fit a cap in around you. So you're going to get whatever money you wanted if you're Leon Draisaitl. That's one box. The other box you have to check is being on a contender. And because of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the Edmonton Oilers are one of the most legitimate contenders in the entire National Hockey League. So why would he have ever left when both of the big things you would look for are better here than anywhere else? It's just, it never made sense to think he was going to leave.
And it was he also mentioned, we're building something. We talked about the culture of the Edmonton Oilers now, but it's also he said it. It's the off ice too. The families that you're building. That's another thing. Growing up with your team, these guys were kids. Not that they're old men by any stretch.
But they were kids.
But
yes.
These guys are getting married. There's children running around the dressing room now. There's these things that are drawing you even more so into that family culture of a hockey team, which I can tell you is unbelievable to be part of. It's great. It's a lot of fun. You feel like a big band of brothers, and everyone's included. So when the off ice and the on ice mesh like that, it can become a very dangerous combination for the team because you're just so tight knit.
780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today. Your chance to win text of the day with A&W. We'll continue to sort through a few of those. We'll kind of continue on this Draisaitl path just after 6:30 today with that's good for the Italian Center Shop. And we'll crack some packs coming up around 6:45 today. But we will get in. We'll get into that.
Just for that guy that I guess I'm just looking at Toronto Maple Leafs news. It looks like Alex Steeves signed a standard 1-year contract for $775 back on the 21st. So just to help with that Toronto.
Do those guys keep knocking it out of the park or what? That's very impressive. All right. Whoa, who the hell is this all of a sudden? Look at this. YouTube, Trev, you got a little sports update coming down the pipe, do you? That looks.
Yes, I do.
That looks real nice. Oh, don't say unfortunately. This is going to be great for the fine folks over at Nisku Glass.
Yeah,
give them a crack, all right? Give them a chance here. Trev will have more on that. Let's get to an update. Here we go.
But first,
Changing 100.
Oh.
yesterday in sports, the Toronto Blue Jays lost in a close 10-9 ball game to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Blue Jays will finish their two-game series tonight against the Phillies. First pitch of that one was at 5 o'clock. Sticking in the majors, it was Shohei Ohtani's first game back in Angel Stadium last night. The superstar looking to make history as the first ball player to ever have 50 stolen bases and 50 home runs in a single season. And I can confirm that last night, he didn't have any of those. But the Dodgers did take the win in extra innings by the score of 6-2. And in TFL football, Rock Armstead has been released with running back Jamal Morrow. Armstead was the leading rusher for the Red Blacks this season with 623 yards. But when asked why they made this decision, Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice said, quote, "We felt it was in the best interest to move on," end quote. And in hockey, Montreal Canadiens forward Cole Caulfield will be changing his number this season to 13 in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. And just down the QE2, former Oilers defenseman Tyson Barrie has signed a PTO with the Calgary Flames. I'm YouTube Trev. Now you're slightly more up to date. The Sports Update brought to you by Nisku Glass. If you're looking for replacement glass for your construction equipment or fleet vehicles, or a home or business owner looking to upgrade your space with high-efficiency windows and modern glass designs, Nisku Glass is here to help. From your home to your business to your vehicle, they won't help just meet your glass needs. They'll shatter them. Check out their Instagram or give them a call at 780-955-7989 and see what Nisku Glass can do for you.
Try, 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 try. Try, 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 try. Leon scored a goal tonight. Watching him plays quite a sight. You know this song is tight. Oilers fans, come on. You loved him endlessly since he was drafted number 3. He's a center with a size that was born in Cologne. Try to stop him, you can't do much more. That ain't no lie. You just wanna see him shoot and score. It was try, 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 try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try, 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 try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try, 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 try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try, 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 try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try, 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 try.
Pretty much had to do it today. I mean,
of course.
we get that for 9 more years. 9 more years of the Draisaitl song. Come on. That's very exciting. Very exciting times. Very exciting times. You can text us anytime. The Paris Jewelers inbox. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today, where they now have the boneless wings available at all of your Popeyes locations. If you've not yet tried those out, I must say you are really making a poor decision. It's something you're going to want to get your hands on right now at all Popeyes locations, or you just go to the regular Popeyes chicken sandwich, and nobody's going to look down on you for that one because it's absolutely terrific. Let's get to this text in today from the real not so slim Shady. 6:30 Ched's boss tuning into Edmonton Sports Talk yesterday afternoon and hearing Reed.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
That's a good one. Somebody said the same thing almost earlier, like AM Nasties hearing 2 new shows in the afternoon.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
That's really nice. Really nice. That's good. Yeah, that's too good.
That's funny.
All right, let's get to this. Let's get to that's good for Italian Center Shop. I was what are these right here? This is what we call Massimo's heat and serve meals right here. The Nielson family had lasagna last night. I've got the penne arrabbiata. Is that how you say it? I think.
Yeah.
Penne arrabbiata with sausage serves 3 to 4. Listen to this. Listen how heavy this is. Watch.
Jeez.
I know. Yeah, that's very heavy. And then we've also got the tortellini and rosé sauce. Heat and serve meals made in-house. Like, they're not shipping these. These are made in-house, packaged in-house with all the favorite products right from the store shelves. Serve your family great quality meals without having to spend all day in the kitchen. They do the hard work so you can focus on getting back into the groove of school, sports, and everything else. Try some favorites like lasagna, ravioli, creamy pesto sauce, rigatoni, spaghetti and meatballs, and more, available in individual and families. Yeah, the individual is like half the size of this. Pick up in store, pre-order online. And I figured 6:30 is probably too early for us to dive into this, but we'll get into it a little bit later.
Did you see what I did in the kitchen here, though? You were gone.
The toaster oven?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's me walking in and seeing the toaster oven yesterday.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
So
what's going on with that?
I saw it in the kind of the closet of the kitchen the other day, and we had those pizzas, right? So, and I go, well, that pizza will fit in there. And Maddie goes, what are you doing? I go, well, we can throw a pizza in here. He goes, it won't fit. I go, it'll fit. and we slid the pizza, and it fit perfectly.
It fit in the toaster oven?
Yeah.
The Italian Center Shop pizza?
Yes.
No.
So I brought,
Game changer.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
How good was that first one, Trev? Oh, you weren't here either, right? Yeah. No, it was Zach. Of course it was Zach.
Zach took him.
Zach took him.
Yeah. He's in Vancouver right now, but he's flying back today to take these out of the fridge.
Yeah, it works. We might have to try it with one of these.
So yeah, we had the lasagna last night, and I felt like a hero. Obviously, when I bring in something like from the Italian Center, I imagine back to like the 1880s, and I killed a deer and dropped it off like on the porch and was like, I've provided for my family. Like that's how it kind of works. But we had the lasagna last night, and like you look at this package, some of you might be like, that's not going to feed my family. We had the lasagna last night, and there's leftovers.
Really?
Oh yeah. And that being said, I've never seen two kids enjoy cheese more than Marshall and Muzz were enjoying all the cheese left over on their plate after.
Yeah.
Marshall had just pounds of cheese sitting there. He's like, Daddy, can you believe this? I said, no, I can't. The Italian Center Shop delivers. That's good. Now, an issue I had yesterday at the Italian Center Shop was I bumped into a guy, and I was standing there because I picked up panino for Trev for lunch, grabbed one for myself, got one for Maddie, which he didn't eat. It's still sitting in the fridge. And they got an extra one just in case you and Hernan wanted to split one. So there's two paninos sitting in the fridge over there. Just a heads up, boys. But I'm standing there. They went into the back to pick these up for me. And I'm standing there looking at what I was going to get for dinner and then grabbing the lunch for the guys. And some guy came up and he goes, hey, Dustin, great job on the CFL games. I said, thanks. And he looked like a guy I thought I knew.
Oh.
But I couldn't put a name on it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn it, I'm pretty sure I know this guy. And I don't know if he listens. If he does, I apologize. But we had a great conversation.
Okay.
Like we chatted for like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, but I couldn't remember. Oh, now I do. Well, he did mention, he goes, you're going to play in Hockey Helps the Homeless again.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, okay. So I think he's one of the volunteers with Hockey Helps the Homeless. That must be what it is. Anyway, really nice guy and a real good chat at a really good place, Italian Center Shop. But look, here's that's good. Today's that's good is just yesterday.
Yeah,
it's yesterday, like Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. When we're looking at 10 years from now, people are going to be like, yeah, that was the day Draisaitl signed. And we'll all remember, well, that was the day we launched the afternoons of full programming on EST as well. Like it's a monumental day. It's a monumental day for the city of Edmonton. Simple as that.
It's also a kind of a trivia day. Like, who are the first two guests on EST afternoons? Like Pagnotta and Aaron Grimes.
Yeah. Grimes was great.
Grimes was awesome.
Yeah. And then Jay Onright on the Reed Wilkins show yesterday.
I know. Come on.
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
He was hilarious.
It's
huge fan of Jay.
He's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So
tough look for Milne not even being the best Jay on your own first show. That was kind of tough.
We were combing the desert for Joaquin's out there, but Phoenix wasn't available.
No, he's in hiding wherever he is, and then comes out and does Joker 2, which I'm kind of excited for. But
speaking of him, there's Gladiator 2 coming out.
Yeah, he won't be in there.
No.
It's the story of Lucius.
Oh, is it?
The son.
The son.
I believe.
Oh, cool.
I believe. Denzel's in it.
Yeah, I saw
and it looks
that.
like one of their fighting pits is like got water and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for Gladiator 2. I watch Gladiator all the time. I think it's absolutely terrific movie.
Yeah, it was this close, Dusty, because of your love for it. I almost rented Twisters.
I watched it last night. Again, I swear to God, I've watched Twisters 40 times.
Oh, my God.
I got in here last night. I had my finished long drink. And I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I got probably a couple hours to take that damn bubble off of every single graphic that we have. I was just like, you know what? I had my computer. I set it up, opened up Amazon Prime, watched Twisters again while I did my work. It was a perfect little evening. I got about 3/4 of the way through it before I decided to head home.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, man. Twisters is a great movie. I absolutely love it. You love it too. You got to try it.
I have to.
If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. I know people are like, where's Eric? Eric is he's on holidays. He was on holidays Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So he took like an extra long weekend. Tomorrow, Eric and I will be out at the Edmonton Elks, like the E alumni golf tournament
Oh, cool.
at the Quarry. So we're going to do the show live from out there tomorrow morning. And then Eric will bring back the gear and stuff for everybody in the afternoons. And I'm going to play in the tournament and host the banquet. It's like a luncheon banquet. I do like the morning tournament.
Oh,
right? That's like
way
ours was
better.
too. It's like you can be home by 3, or you
Yeah.
can crank it up a notch if you want. So
Either way, you're getting a good night's sleep. That's probably needed.
that's important.
Yeah.
After that day, I'm going to come in on Friday and be like, oh, I look like a bloody zombie.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough look. But so Rick will be back. He'll be back tomorrow with me on location. And make sure you get ready to join Eric Thursday night, Century Casino, Fort Road. The return of Thursday night football. And Eric will be set up, old stomping grounds there at Century Casino. Very exciting. I'm sure some of the crew will be out. It's a good game, too. Ravens and Chiefs. Yeah, we'll dive into that around 7:25 today. Build a little player prop parlay coming up as well. Boxbender says, I'll never forget where I was on dry day. I mean, it's just...
on dry day.
Yeah, that's exactly...
That's good.
That's exactly what it is. It got warm around here yesterday.
There's a lot of man heat.
It's warm in here again today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to chat with the landlady again. I don't think the AC is working properly.
I actually had a fan by the front door that I was going to bring in, and I forgot
today.
Yeah,
that would have nice. I thought we had a little fan kicking around here, but
well, it's quiet too. It's got like the silent. It doesn't make any noise whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's
those are tough to find.
Yeah,
those are tough to find. You know what's not tough to find? Massimo's packaged meals. These things are absolutely and you know what? We made the lasagna last night had to go in the oven for like 14 minutes.
Well, that'll fit perfectly into the toaster oven.
Actually, this would fit perfectly into the toaster oven. That's a really good point.
I think both. There's two. We could fit both of these into the toaster.
So this is a bigger toaster oven than other toaster ovens, isn't it? Like
it's deep.
I grew up on my grandpa's toaster oven.
Yeah.
So then when I moved out to go to college, I can't remember if it was my parents or my grandpa. Somebody got me a toaster oven, and I was like, "Oh, a toaster oven just like grandpa's." And then I just never really used it.
Really?
I've never really properly utilized a toaster oven.
When my last year playing in Italy, we didn't have an oven. We just had a toaster oven.
What?
Yeah, there was a stove, like a
small little
stovetop.
apartment.
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
a little apartment. And for Christmas, we had my buddy Dave Cooper came for Christmas, or he came before, and then my in-laws came. My wife's parents came, and we made turkey rolls in the toaster oven for Christmas dinner. Like we got big breasts, pounded them out, and then rolled them up with stuff inside, and had these massive, big, huge turkey. So we had turkey for.
So it's just like a regular oven. It's just a little bit smaller.
Yeah. You can perform magic in those things.
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah,
that's good to know. That's good. Italian Center Shop. We're gonna crack some packs coming up here as well as we work our way through the show this morning. Greg Wyshynski will be by around 7:05. If you want a conch today, let us know, and we'll get to those as we work our way through the show this morning. Guys, you need to turn the Holloway goal song into a power play goal song. Power play goal. Oh. Actually, that's a good one, Johnny the Accountant.
Yeah,
you definitely.
That was
definitely do that.
That was sad because that's a banger.
That is a banger, but power play goal would work though. I mean, it would kind of work for a few guys, but power play goal would be an easy one. We'd be playing that every single day after every single game.
I know
that'd be easy.
That'd be a lot of play
That's
time.
good, actually. I like that. Yoshi's in and says, Dusty, what's the over under on the amount of times you play the Draisaitl goal song over the next 9 years? Have a great show. I can't even imagine.
That's 50 times a year at least.
Well, but not sometimes we won't play it on like a Friday or Saturday because they don't on this.
Right.
It'd be you need a real nerd to figure that math out. I think that would be tough. Now, what about Bouchard? Draisaitl's taken care of. I was asked on 1050 this morning on my way in, hey, would you get Bouchard done now or would you wait and get Bouchard done at the end of the year, Gage? Or what is your preferred procedure on Evan Bouchard?
Well, yesterday on EST Afternoons with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage, we actually had this discussion.
I love hearing this. God.
I think Nanso and I both thought that it was more important to get Connor done. And what would be better for Bouchard? Would you be looking at a bridge? And I think it actually makes sense for Bouchard to look at some sort of a bridge next time because of the timing with Cale Makar's contract. So if he takes a 2-year, Makar...
Oh, from a timing perspective, that's interesting.
And then Makar's done, see what Makar signs for, and then you fit in somewhere in there. And you're probably looking at more of this Leon Draisaitl money, or closer to. Because Makar is going to be... He's going to be over 14 in 3 years.
He probably will, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the only player that I compare closely to Connor McDavid is Cale Makar. Because of the way they command at their positions. Like they're so unique, right? I'm looking at, I think Makar is looking at above 14 in 3 years for sure.
So if it's interesting, but if the Oilers come to Bouchard right now and go, hey man, here's $80 million over 8 years. Do you think he signs that? Or do you think he goes, you know what, let me go out, hang out another 80-point season and then we'll talk? Or do you look at it and go, man, $80 million? Okay, I'll take it.
I know, yeah. I mean, it depends if he's like, I don't care. Like he's got to realize he's in a pretty sweet situation on that power play. Like that power play is not changing for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Nobody's going anywhere.
No one's going anywhere.
It's going to be a ridiculous power play
and they're just going to get better and better and better. It's not a question of how much it's all legacy at this point. How do I want my grandchildren to be able to do? You know, and if
my grandchildren's grandchildren with that type of money.
With that, it's crazy. So, he could do that, or I mean, the $80 million right now is it sounds appealing to me. How about you?
I mean, it'd be tempting. It'd be like what happens. Yeah, no, I know this is not a slight towards Bouchard because I know a lot of people really like his overall game, no matter who's with, whatever. But what if Ekholm gets hurt and you play 50 games without him? And people are like, oh, man, like Bouchard is not as steady as he is when he's with Ekholm. And I think if there's $80 million there, I just take it. But
who knows? Yeah. I mean, I thought Evan Bouchard's game, his defensive prowess wrapped up a notch in the playoffs.
100, he's done that a couple times in the playoffs.
So it's... And he makes Ekholm. It's not like he's babysitting the whole time out there.
No,
they're
just really good together.
That's what that's what I alluded to earlier with Leon and Connor. Although they don't play like all the time together, they play great once they're paired up. To find those matchups is very, very difficult. Look at Darnell Nurse. Like we talk about that all the time. If who can Darnell Nurse play with to get the best out of him, which shouldn't be necessary, obviously, but they're going to have to do something because Ekholm's 2 more years, I believe he's got, and he's getting up there in age.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, you're not looking 6 years down the road and being like Ekholm's still the guy. And well, we'll see how that one. We'll see how that one plays out. He's not a UFA at the end of the year, right? He's an RFA, so it's a completely different situation from Leon Draisaitl. But it's a fun conversation to have, no doubt about that. And you can chime in on it in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, man, we are going to make a push towards 200 here in the first hour. It's as simple as that. We're 42 away. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, hammer the thumbs up, sub to the channel if you wouldn't mind as well as we, I guess, now begin the push towards 11K. We are at 10.1. So we've got that going for us. Do we want a Chiefs back to school song? And then we'll crack some packs.
I think that puts us over 200.
All right. Probably the case. All right. This is what Atif is calling his back to school song.
Do. Another one rides of us. Grab your lunches and your electronic devices and your cell phone. Do. Another one rides the bus. You're gonna run into your teachers and your principals. Another one rides the bus. You're gonna see your friends and talk about your summers. Another one rides the bus. Just remember, you're not allowed to use your cell phones in class. Another one rides the bus. Give your parents 8 hours of their day kid free. Another one rides the bus. And congratulations to UST in the afternoon. Another one rides the bus. And Draisaitl signed an 8-year deal, and the Elks kicked the Stampeders' ass. Another one rides the bus. Welcome back to school, everybody.
That might be his finest work. That might be his finest work. Wow. John T. Victoria, you got to remix this immediately.
Wow.
My God. Just the way it started, I was like, oh man, let's see how this goes. And then you get
another one rides the bus.
I knew at that point we were locked in. We were locked in.
Oh wow.
My God. Dude, he just did the whole time. Another one rides the bus, and then just stated things that happened at school.
Oh, I got to get a transcript of those lyrics too. There was some good ones in there.
My God. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got your sound of the day. That'll be coming up during the wrap for William Huff. Holy smokes.
Good.
Atif, don't ever change, man. Don't ever change. I don't save all of his, but I'm saving this one. Atif, back to school. It's a nice real timestamp.
Yeah.
Because he hit them all, right? EST launched, Draisaitl signed, the Elks kicked Calgary's ass. So Amish Man 19 is in it, says we don't deserve Atif, right? I think that's probably good. VR Montenegro says legit tears off of that one.
Another one rides the bus.
Another one rides the bus. Speaking of buses, we're walking to Kiss the School yesterday. 4 different buses came into our cul-de-sac.
No, really?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how 4 different school districts would be taking kids from our one cul-de-sac. I mean, 4 different schools, I guess.
Do you know, like in where I live in Terwilliger, it was weird back in the day, the cutoff lines. Like you could essentially, it was across the street at one point. You could step out your front door, see the school, and your kid wasn't zoned for that school.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
My kids could walk to school. Like, it's not a far walk, but I don't know when you let kids walk to school on their own.
Well,
what did you do? Well, you live right there. Yeah, you're like 3 houses from the school.
I'm like 150 meters from the door. And I walked my son.
It's like 4 blocks for us.
From kindergarten, right? He wanted me to walk. And I think with my daughter, I think it was the first 2 months. And then I got to like the corner where it kind of wrapped around. And she would turn around and go, Dad, no. And then, and then go at kindergarten.
I held Marshall's hand into the school yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, we're just so tight. Like, he just, like, nobody else was, but Marshall was just like, man, I love you, buddy. Like, he just, God, I'm going to be doing it. That school goes up to grade 9. I'm going to do it every single first day. Grade 9, we're going to walk in there. Oh, this is good. Leon Draisaitl when Connor McDavid also signs.
Another one rides the bus.
That's good work. That's bones right there. That's good. All right, let's crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards while we're at it here. Real fun show coming down the pipe here today. This is good.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the Crack Pack, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guys today. I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the Crack Pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money. The Crack Pack is a little
the crack pack for Wayne Sports Cards. Go on in, see Wayne and his team there, just north of West Edmonton Mall. If you've not yet checked it out, it was a great day for me yesterday. I hit up Italian Center Shop, grabbed the dinner for the family and our special packages here for the crew at EST, and then I went in and checked in on Wayne and the crew. Picked up a couple packs of Allure, which came out a little while ago now, but this is 23-24 Allure. It's got Quinn Hughes on the pack, and there's at least one rookie card per pack. So
they got to stick with these unis, the Canucks.
I agree. It's got like the old unis on them. By far, I don't want this to come across as like anti-Edmonton take. The black Canucks skate uniform is my favorite in the history of the National Hockey League.
It's what I
absolutely love it.
I mean, I had the V, but still.
All right, Marchenko, Jamie Drysdale,
nice.
Alexander Ovechkin, Marshall will love that one. Anton Lundell, Seth Jones, Logan Thompson, Brad Marchand, and Alex Lafreniere.
Wow.
Who'd you get there? They're nice, right?
These are real
card.
nice. I got Kadri as a Flame, Cale Makar, Robert Thomas. My rookie is Adian McDonough. I don't even know who that is. The Polished Pros, Cale Makar, Elmer Soderblom, Matthew Kessel, and this is a Johnny Gaudreau. We'll put that one up there.
Unbelievable. That's perfect timing right there. Rest in peace to Johnny Hockey. All right, coming up, Greg Wyshynski is going to join us next. He had a nice article on the winners and losers of the Leon Draisaitl contract. This just in. Leon Draisaitl's a winner. Connor McDavid is going to be a winner. The Edmonton Oilers are going to be a winner. We'll get to it a little bit. I know I've seen some questions already roll in, but we'll get to it during three questions. 3 questions too many today. People are wondering how many Stanley Cups over the next 9 years to be considered a success.
Oh,
we'll get into that just after 8 o'clock today. YouTube Trev's counting them up. Who are you, LeBron James? All right. Everybody hates him because of that. Don't even get me started on that, too. All right, let's get to a sports update with Green. Got a great text, actually, yesterday from Dav and the crew over at Green Plan with the expansion and everything. He's happy to be a partner with us. So, good dudes over there. All right, let's get to an update with YouTube Trev. Wyshynski on the other way. Macramalla coming up in hour number 2 as well. Don't go anywhere.
Yesterday in sports, the Toronto Blue Jays lost in a close 10-9 ball game to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Blue Jays will finish their 2-game series tonight against the Phillies. First pitch of that one starts at 5 o'clock tonight. Sticking in the majors, it was Shohei Ohtani's first game back in Angel Stadium last night. The superstar looking to make history as the first ball player ever to have 50 stolen bases and 50 home runs in one single season. And I can confirm that none of that happened last night. But the Dodgers did take the win in extra innings by the score of 6-2. And in CFL football, Rock Armstead has been released with running back Jamal Morrow. Armstead was the leading rusher for the Red Blacks this season with 623 yards, but when asked why they made this decision, Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice said, quote, "We felt it was in the best interest to move on," end quote. And in hockey, Montreal Canadiens forward Cole Caulfield will be changing his number to this season to 13 in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. And just down the QE2, former Oilers defenseman Tyson Barrie has signed a PTO with the Calgary Flames. I'm YouTube Trev. Now you're slightly more up to date. The Sports Update is brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
It's Jackson, you are for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Curtis Jackson, you are now the new interim head coach of the Edmonton now. They have a great receiving corps, and now you gotta get the defense to stop a few plays here and there, so you can win a damn football game. Real, for real. celebrate with the boys with their 6 o'clock log. For real, for real, for real. For real, for real, for real. Let's go, Alex.
7:02. Teef dropping a new one on us a little bit earlier on today. If you just missed it, late in the 6 o'clock hour, a Teef's Back to School song is now out there, and I'm telling you, John Team Victoria. Usually, we let you cook, but if you could do something up with that one, that would be great. I can send you the MP3 if you want. Nielson Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet for the best deal, the best price with a great crew. Go see Daniel and his team in Fort Sask. Tell them EST sent you, and you get 15% off accessories on your new ride. They're your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s and heavy duties. Visit their website at www.southfortchev.com. Greg Wyshynski is connecting. Looks like he's going to be ready to go in just a little bit. We'll get his thoughts on the Leon Draisaitl contract that dropped yesterday. You can hit us up in the Paris Jewelers inbox as well. I see we're talking about when your kids start walking to school. Normology is in. It says his oldest is going to start walking to school this year. And I cannot believe that Normology has kids. From what I've seen from Normology over the last little while, I did not know that Normology was a dad. That blows my mind. Legendary stuff from Normology. All right, well, you got to let me know how old. I mean, I don't know how old your oldest is, Norm. Yeah. Let me know. Coming up here in hour number 2, keeping us up in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Check out their website, www.parisjewelers.com. Free advice for Damon Bunting just after 7:30. We're going to have some fun with that Thursday nighter between the Ravens and the Chiefs with CoolBet. We'll build a little 3-man player prop parlay coming up around 7:25 today. And then Eric Macramalla, our legal analyst, will join us around 7:45 today. So keep those Macramalla intros rolling in as well. YouTube, Trev, we good to go with Wyshynski? All right, let's bring in Greg Wyshynski from ESPN, who had the summer off to spend time with his kids. What a novel concept. How was it, Greg?
Having the summer off is an interesting way to phrase it. I was really looking forward to having a summer where I'm not really writing hockey on a daily basis. But it wasn't as if I was having that beautiful Canadian off season where you go to your cabin and just smoke cigars on the patio all day. I was getting up at, I can't sleep in anymore. My body has now been trained to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to diaper a child. So great time. Iris is a wonderful kid. But I did not recharge the batteries, as it were, like I've done for the last dozen years.
Man, if I could have slapped you when you said sleep until 7, I'm up every day at 4:30. And even on weekends, my body's like, hey, man, you've been getting up for 15 years at 4:30. It's time to wake up. I'm like, shut up. Let me sleep.
I know we've got a lot of parents in the audience. So I say this knowing that it'll just make people in Edmonton hate me more than they usually do. I have 2 kids. Both of them slept through the night. You could put the kid down at 8 o'clock and they wake up at 7 the next morning. No waking up during the night. It's a blessing. I don't it's uncomfortable when people start talking about, I get up at 3 a.m. to feed my kid. And then I'm just like, yeah, me too. It's terrible. Isn't it? 2 kids, both of them sleepers. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, yeah, we were pretty good with our kids too. I don't know, Elizabeth was probably about 15, 16 months, started to sleep through the night, and that was it. I mean, that completely changes your life when your kids both start sleeping through the night. It's just, It's the best. Absolutely, absolutely love it. All right, 780-218-9999. Rob in the Grove over on YouTube is like, nice to hear Greg again. That means hockey season is so close, and people are excited about it. We got a bang yesterday here at Edmonton Sports Talk with Leon Draisaitl signing an 8-year $14 million deal. We kind of said, a contender, these top end free agents want 2 things. They want to contend and they want to get a ton of money. He got a ton of money and he's in a place where he could contend. So I don't know. Did you ever think he was really going to leave, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I gotta be honest with you. I thought that there was a chance that he would want to go to market, maximize the amount of money he could get, become his own superstar, play in a Boston or a Detroit or some, huge traditional hockey, original 6 type market. I didn't know. And I also didn't know, if the getting close but not winning it of it all in Edmonton would finally crack him. Like, I just didn't know. Because the thing about Leon is that when you ask around the league in the last couple of years, as we got closer to this contract time, you heard all sorts of opinions. I mean, we've talked about it before, the cockamamie theory of like, San Jose has a German owner. He's a German guy. He'll fly him out on the private jet and he'll sign in San Jose. Or, you know, the fact that Boston was keeping the seat warm at number one center for Draisaitl for next summer. Like, you hear all these things, and usually when there's that much smoke, there maybe is a little bit of fire. But at the end of the day, like he kind of indicated yesterday, it just wasn't on the table for him. He was comfortable where he was. He obviously believes that his greatest chance to win a cup is with Connor, which I think is probably true. You can spend the rest of your career looking for another guy like that and not finding him. I think the same goes for Connor. The one thing I kept on hearing yesterday, not only from Leon, but you know, it just in general, was about the culture in Edmonton. And it's something that Connor had talked about before last season, the culture him and Leon had built. I think that there's something to that in the sense of like, there's a comfort to knowing that what you're doing works. But I think kind of the undercurrent of that, boys, is like, we rule this team. Like we are the team.
Yeah.
Like theoretically we can get coaches hired, you know, and get teammates signed. And I mean, when you go someplace else, especially if you don't have your McDavid with you or your Draisaitl with you, then it becomes a different dynamic. Maybe the coach runs the team. Maybe the GM runs the team. Maybe the veteran that's been there for 10 years runs the team. I think when they talk about culture, it's very much like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are the Edmonton Oilers, and it's hard to find that someplace else if you leave.
Greg Wyshynski with us from ESPN. So, Greg, from what I'm hearing is A, I hate you because your kids slept through the night, but B, you're basically putting your stamp of approval that Connor is going to sign July 2nd next year.
I don't think Leon signs without knowing Connor's going to sign.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think Connor signs if Leon doesn't sign. I think it was very sort of yin and yang. You know, I listen, it could, who knows, right? I mean, it could be a situation where we're all wrong on this and we're all just assuming that it's all said and done. But I mean, it's pretty clear that they've both put down professional and personal roots in Edmonton. It's pretty clear they have an affinity for playing with each other, that they believe that, you know, being teammates is going to be the best path to winning a championship. And, you know, we just talked about the culture thing, but there also is that sense of like, we've built something and we want to see it through. And I think last season, I would be interested to find out how much last season helped, you know, as far as proof of concept, as far as like, we know what we're building here. We know if we can stay healthy in the same postseason, relatively healthy, that we can go all the way to the championship round. I wonder how much that helped nudge this along. I mean, obviously, like Leon's contract talks predated the cup run, but you know, last season was a really important one to kind of say, okay, we are the team that can advance, play for a championship, and if we have a good supporting cast around us, that we know that we can win in Edmonton.
Greg, I know you put together the winners and losers article yesterday, so let's hit on both of those angles. Who were the other big winners from this Draisaitl deal?
We talked about Edmonton. We talked about McDavid. I think Ken Holland was a sneaky winner. I mean, I know this contract was signed on Bowman's watch, but you know, when you talk about, look, Ken Holland wasn't perfect, right? Like there are contracts that we will remember for decades about how terrible they were. And the fact of the matter is that cap management for this Oilers team seemed like it came down to the nickels before like the trade deadline. And sometimes they had to play shorthanded, the whole thing, we understand. But like he did a lot to kind of clean up the house and get the team to a point where the supporting cast surrounding these guys not only was solid last year, but you know, the Hyman contract, the Nugent Hopkins contract, like those are the types of moves that help set up this team to be able to hopefully get McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard in for around $40 million combined. You know, so like I think his legacy is muddled, but ultimately will be seen as pretty good if this team actually does win. And then the losers are pretty obvious. Like the Boston Bruins are not getting Leon Draisaitl. The San Jose Sharks are not getting Leon Draisaitl. And, you know, this might not be the thing that Edmonton fans want to hear, but, you know, if the NHL, if you gave Gary Bettman truth serum, he's probably saying it'd be good to split these guys up or get them both out of Edmonton and get them both into large American markets. And so I think that the idea that now this power will be consolidated in Alberta until like the beginning of next decade. On the one hand, it's great for hockey because it means that they're going to have a terrific elite team that they can market around. But the downside for the NHL is that team is in Alberta.
You son of
wow.
You son of a
listen,
unbelievable.
We've been talking about this since Connor got drafted, but I mean, like, it's a fact of life. I mean, it's wonderful that they play together, and it's wonderful that the Oilers are restored to being a prestigious franchise like they were during the Gretzky-Messier years. But again, this is. I'm thinking on the NHL.
I know you're thinking on the NHL level, and you are right. If you have the truth serum with Gary Bettman, Bettman would probably prefer these guys somewhere else.
Dixie dust, then Leon would be in Boston and Connor would be in Los Angeles.
Unfortunately, Gary Bettman has no say over this, so we're okay for the Oilers. Hey, what about the next guys? Like, as far as Draisaitl's contract goes, Rantanen and some of these other guys, how do you see that factoring in for those guys?
I think it's great for Rantanen. I mean, I think that when you look at the stats over the last 3 years, Rantanen is in the top 10, I think, in points per game. I think he might be like 5th or 4th in goals. I mean, like, he's way up there. And this contract certainly sets a bar for him. The interesting thing for him, and then the other guy obviously is Marner, besides Connor, who has a contract coming up, is like the internal financial dynamics of those two situations might weigh heavier than whatever Draisaitl signed for, in the sense of like, here's how much McKinnon makes, how much more or how much less does Rantanen make compared to that? Thinking also about like, eventually Makar will have to come up as well. And then in Toronto, obviously, Matthews had the highest individual cap hit on a contract before Draisaitl reset the scale yesterday. So, Nylander makes this, Matthews makes this. Where in that scale does Marner fit, assuming he stays in Toronto? And if he leaves, then what does the Draisaitl contract mean for what his value is on the open market?
Greg, good stuff, man. Thanks for popping in, and we'll talk to you on a regular basis here just around the corner.
Absolutely. Take care, boys.
There you go. That's Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. Notorious Oilers hater who's picked them to win the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row, and I'll be surprised if he doesn't pick them again.
Wow, that's a sobering statement that Bettman would rather have both Leon and Connor somewhere else.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think he's right? Like, if you're running a league that's largely based in the United States, I mean, if you're Gary Bettman, and he'll never tell the truth, I'm not sure how many times he has, would you rather have Leon Draisaitl on the Boston Bruins? In Boston. I mean, I could see it wasn't Greg's take. He was saying what he thinks what he thinks Gary Bettman would say if you held a gun to his head and was like, "Hey, tell us the truth." And he might be right on that angle. Like,
well, you have, he is right. It sucks to hear, but if you look at it from that standpoint, where I mean, I don't know, Boston. I'm trying to.
Los Angeles would be a big one.
Los Angeles is
Draisaitl in LA would be great for the National Hockey League. But
Connor in New York and the Rangers, like that's
something like that.
That's crazy.
Well, that being said, the NHL would still fail to market these guys anyway.
It's. I don't know if it would even work though. Still, it would make things a little bit easier because you don't have to do any work in Edmonton.
Yeah,
you don't have to do anything. These guys dominate the headlines across Canada. Like it's like having a digital radio station that's basically just running on its own. You don't have to worry about the other stuff.
You just got to do whatever you want. Sort of works out well. Changing 200. Let's go, Trev. Give it to me. Let's go.
Changing 200.
There we go. I'm feeling a change in 300 day.
Oh, yeah.
Which always is hilarious. So if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. There's one more point from Wyshynski that I want to get to. If you're watching on YouTube and you're like, oh, man, I like watching you guys on YouTube, but then I got to get in my car. I can't watch on YouTube. That's easy. Tune in, iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. 3 ways to listen to the show. And I almost, the company that we use to like stream out to everything.
Yeah.
I guess it was like 1 year and the renewal was coming up. And I got a message last night. It was just like the renewal couldn't go through. I was just like, no. So I'm like, last night, I'm like, oh, we got to make sure I think that would have sucked this morning. Like none of our streams worked because I forgot to pay for the next year. That would have sucked a big one. But the one point Wyshynski made that I don't think and look, we've got 12 hours of content here now every single day. I'm not sure. I listened to a lot of it yesterday. I'm not sure any of us really talked about it too much, but apologies to your show or Reed's show if you did and I missed it. What if they went out in the first round this year? Like he made an interesting point on like how much did a run to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final just take any doubt out of the fact of Draisaitl thinking maybe like, man, are we ever going to get it done here? Like you're that close. Do you think it would be different if they lost in the first round of the playoffs this year instead of losing in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final? I think that's an interesting discussion.
We kind of touched on it on Two Guys. I'm pretty sure of what Leon would do and what it all depended on how the playoffs unfolded, I think. Because I'm trying to remember what I said. I thought that if the Oilers won, there's a better possibility, I think, that Leon would leave because he got the job done, right? He's got his cup. If he didn't and got close like they did, maybe there would be a little bit more unfinished business. I really didn't think he would sign the max. He would go after seeing what Austin Matthews did with the shorter term. I thought we'd be seeing more something like that. But I think the fact that they were so close with this group, Greg, and we've all been talking about how Connor and Leon have discussed the culture of the Edmonton Oilers and wanting to, lack of a better term, it's unfinished business. Let's say it was cup or bust. I think the mantra of the Edmonton Oilers right now is on the course of unfinished business. They want to get this done together.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Smitty the Welders, and it says a Canadian team hasn't won the cup since Bettman became the commish. So of course he doesn't want Leon and Connor in Canada.
He wants the cup going through the streets of South Beach with no one knowing.
With 45 people.
It's awesome.
People pulling up in a car and being like, ugh, who are these guys crossing the street?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And why do they have this big silver chalice?
And don't try to spin it like it wasn't that, because it was that. A little bit different celebration down there than it would have been up here in
Can you imagine
Edmonton.
if Connor and Leon were like walking down to Horlack Park with that thing?
Yeah.
You would have 2 million people down there in a matter of minutes.
Oh, it'd be nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be people who don't have boats floating the river because it's the quickest way to get there.
Yeah.
They're just hopping in and just floating down trying to.
You could say, you know what, we're just going to take it on the Henday. We're just going to go and the streets would be lined.
I honestly think if they would have won the cup, they could still be circling the Henday with it. And people would still just be driving by, catching up to me like, yeah, let's go. Like nobody would get bored. They could have done it for 2 months.
It would have been like the OJ chase.
The same thing on TV.
Yeah.
CTV. Global. I don't even know what's on these they would have just ran with it the whole time. Yeah, today Zach Hyman's driving the cup around the Henday. Go see him. I mean that's what it would be. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think they'll get one. It'd be pretty disappointing if they don't somewhere along the way. They've built a pretty good team here. But yeah, 780-218-9999. You can also hit us up in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Lacombe Drew is in and says, if the NFL can market Green Bay or Kansas City, the NBA can market Milwaukee, then the NHL can market an Edmonton team with superstars. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay and Patrick Mahomes with the Kansas City Chiefs. I do think the NFL does a much better job marketing the Kansas City Chiefs than the NBA does with Giannis. The NBA is still going to throw your Clippers and your Lakers and your Knicks, and it helps. The Knicks are much better than they used to be, and you still kind of get force-fed them a little bit. It's better now. Who was the one that – there's one that text that came in that I thought was pretty good. Yeah, H.E. Pennypacker. The NHL can't market their players Leon and Skip the Dishes would beg to differ. It's a good point. I mean, that's a fair point.
I do like that commercial.
It is a pretty good commercial.
Yeah, but why isn't Leon on U.S. commercials then? You know, there's no reason.
I'd be curious in the United States. Like, do you see Connor McDavid on a commercial anywhere in the United States? I'm asking from a Canadian perspective. I mean, if there's Americans or whatever listening right now, like, let us know. And I'm not talking about he's promoting Wednesday night hockey.
No.
I'm talking about, does Connor McDavid promote a brand consistently in the United States that is visible to everyone on sports platforms? I'm not asking as a dick. I don't know. So let me know.
I'm interested to see how many, because the landscape's going to change when those TV deals up too, right? They already have Amazon on Monday nights. Do we know how many games or if the Oilers have any Amazon games this year?
I mean, they would have to.
They'd probably have one or
two.
I mean, if I'm Amazon, if I'm Bezos,
Part of the deal.
I'm getting, hey, Connor, Leon, can I get you to drive a truck and drop a package off and something in a commercial for Amazon Prime? Something like that. They deliver, whatever.
Something along those lines.
So just because they're not in the U.S., they're still in the same league. I mean, are the Jays any different? Or does Vladdy get nothing?
No
nothing,
chance.
No chance. In the
there's no way that Vladdy's being paraded around on U.S. television commercials. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised on that one. Rob in at 780-218-9999 says, in my opinion, the NHL has no idea how to market superstars. I think nothing changes until Bettman is gone. Again, just my opinion. And you know what? The opinions on Gary Bettman, everybody's got one. He's done a lot of good things for the National Hockey League, don't get me wrong.
Course.
But I do think a fresh face as commissioner might help the way the NHL markets things a little bit. I mean, Gary Bettman's been doing it since the early 90s. Things have changed a lot over those years. So,
the Timber Woodsman Oilers have 17 games on Prime. Is that right?
No, I think they had. That was prime. I think that was prime time games in the United States. The Oilers don't play 17 games on Monday night.
No.
So I think you were talking about prime time games in the United States. The Oilers have 17, but not that we're talking the Monday nights on Prime is what we were talking about.
And then Darren's in. There's no McDavid on commercials down here. So
no, I didn't
think so.
Didn't think so. All right, let's do this. Let's dive over to CoolBet. CoolBet.com, our betting partner here at Edmonton Sports Talk. It's NFL season, and obviously it's a busy time for sports betting. If you know, you know. Many of you, some of you probably only bet on NFL football, and that might be it. I prefer to bet on all types of things. But National Football League is returning. I did put together a little parlay yesterday you'll be able to find over at coolbet.com. Dallas Cowboys plus 3.5, Packers plus 3.5, Indianapolis Colts plus 3.5, Dusty's Dogs. You'll be able to find that over at coolbet.com. Now, the Ravens and Chiefs play tomorrow. And let's each pick a touchdown score in this game. That's simple. We won't dive into receiving props or anything right now. So let me just lay out the numbers for you. And if you haven't bet at CoolBet before, go to coolbet.com, use the code LOCKSHOP when you sign up for an account. If you deposit $200, you deposit $20, they'll give you $20. Deposit $100, they'll give you $100, up to $200. Use the code LOCKSHOP when you do. They also have another promotion going on right now up until the beginning of the Monday Nighter, I believe, where if you already have an account at CoolBet, if you deposit $50, they'll give you $50. Just make sure you enter the correct code. So when you go to coolbet.com, click on promotions, and then you'll see the NFL kickoff bonus. So deposit $25, they'll give you $25. Go to promotions at the coolbet.com. Click on promotions. You'll see the claim your 100% deposit bonus. And that's for everybody who already has an account. So you can do that as well. As for the Thursday nighter tomorrow night, myself, Trev, and Gage are all going to pick a touchdown score here. Let me give you the odds on the touchdown scores right now. Derrick Henry, who will be making his Ravens debut, minus 110. Pacheco, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, plus 100. Travis Kelce, plus 120. Rashee Rice, plus 163. Rookie receiver for Kansas City, Xavier Worthy plus 175. Mark Andrews is plus 188. Zay Flowers is plus 188. Lamar Jackson is plus 220. And Patrick Mahomes is plus 350. And we can't pick the same guy. We got to pick somebody different. Gager, I'll let you go first here. Who you gonna take for your anytime touchdown score tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football? Join Lieutenant Eric, Century Casino, Fort Road. Great specials, great football game.
I'm gonna say Lamar punches one in. 2 plus 220. I like that.
Yeah, no, you guy. I wanted Lamar plus 220. I was like, man, a big spot like this, the MVP coming in.
Yeah, up against Mahomes, trying to make a statement, right?
Plus 220. That's that was probably. I think from a value perspective, Lamar at plus 220.
That's the best. I think
probably the best one. Probably the best one on the board. You know what I don't see on here is Samaje Perine, who just signed. I think he's gonna play. And if he gets that McKinnon role a little bit, I can see a touchdown there. I don't know if he's on there. They got like 30 guys on here. All right. So Gager's taking Lamar Jackson. YouTube Trev, lots of good names still out there, buddy. Who are you going to go with the anytime touchdown?
I'm going with the rookie, Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Yep.
All right. Plus 175.
Got a hunch. I like it.
All right. So Xavier Worthy.
Thank me later.
Plus 175. You can thank me later. That is your first ever anytime touchdown score pick in the history of Edmonton Sports Talk. Awesome. And you're already dropping, you can thank me later. All right. Okay. I like that one. All right. So Lamar is off the board, plus 220. Xavier Worthy's off the board, plus 175. I guess I'll play it a little bit closer. And I will go Travis Kelce at plus 120. I mean, the fact that you're getting plus money on Travis Kelce is still pretty good value. Mahomes and Kelce. Taylor Swift, look at her. She's so happy because Kelce scored a touchdown. Thursday Night Football. Travis Kelce's getting a touchdown. So you can thank me later. Travis Kelce plus 120. All right, so I've got Kelce plus 120. Gager's got Lamar plus 220. Do love that value on Lamar Jackson plus 220. And then the rookie, a man who's up for possible rookie of the year at the Estes. By the way, if you want to get your Estes tickets, we're talking about photographer right now. We're thinking about getting a photographer to come and shoot the Estes. If you are a photographer, email us, business@edmontonsportstalk.com. We're taking some quotes right now. If you want to come shoot the Estes, let us know. And we're not talking about like some rando with your phone. Like we're looking for like a legitimate photographer. Business@edmontonsportstalk.com. So those will be our 3 anytime touchdowns for tomorrow. The boys could probably put this together and like it'll be a crazy number on all 3 of these guys scoring.
Yeah, you can't do it, right?
You can't do it, but we could do it. Yeah. We can get that set up. So, I mean, that's a long shot for all 3 of these guys to score, but can you imagine the celebration?
You can thank us all later.
If you put in plus 175, plus 220, plus 120, that's a huge number. So maybe I'll have the guys over at Cool Bad. They'll do it. I mean, they'll throw that together for us. So watch for that. They'll tweet it out when we get it up. But you can ride with one of us on that one. We'll take a look at some other player props tomorrow on the show. We'll get to some yardage and that fun stuff as well. All right, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in today. We'll get to more of your text messages as we work our way through the show this morning. And hey, it's free advice time. Coming up next for Damon Bunting, local slumlord. www.damonbunting.com is his website. All-time good dude. If you want to sell your house with somebody nice, or you want to buy a house from somebody who's a good guy, Bunting's the guy. We'll get to that. Free advice. What do you need help with? Life advice, but it's week 1, man. Fantasy football advice. Let's go. 780-218-9999. Eric Macramalla on the way around 7:45 this morning as well. But first, a sports update with the one and only YouTube Trev.
Yesterday in sports, the Toronto Blue Jays lost in a close 10-9 ball game to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Blue Jays will finish their 2-game series tonight against the Phillies. First pitch of that one was at 5 o'clock. Sticking in the majors, it was Shohei Ohtani's first game back in Angel Stadium last night. The superstar is looking to make history as the first ball player to ever have 50 stolen bases and 50 home runs in a single season. And I can confirm that last night he didn't get any of those, but the Dodgers did take the win in extra innings by the score of 6-2. And in CFL football, Rock Armstead has been released with running back Jamal Morrow. Armstead was a leading rusher for the Red Blacks this season with 623 yards. But when asked why they made this decision, Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice said, quote, "We felt it was in the best interest to move on," end quote. And in hockey, Montreal Canadiens forward Cole Caulfield will be changing his number this season to 13 in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. And just down the QE2, former Oilers defenseman Tyson Barrie has signed a PTO with the Calgary Flames. I'm YouTube Trev. Now you're up to date. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. His body is like day-old rice. If it ain't warmed up properly, something real bad could happen.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Trev, you like this?
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the buck, that's when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad guys. Like Wyshynski and Noodles, Gadget can gauge it. Maybe it's for a cool man to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some Huntix and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? He does the tie of fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the Canes? Macramalla, Rapapo, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about a game in person, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's the Nielson Show, 7:35 on a Wednesday. Nielson Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. For the best deal, best price, go see Daniel and his team in Fort Sask. Tell them EST sent you. They've been grinding this out for 40 years, man. They know what's up. You get 15% off accessories on your new ride. Your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s and heavy duties. Visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. They are the superstars of the auto business. Oh, Trev, you're an absolute beauty, buddy. Absolute beauty. All right, we're going to get to free advice. Macramalla is going to be by in about one thing I want to talk with Macramalla, and he's buddies with Draisaitl's agent. I want to talk about, some people, it was brought up yesterday, and we'll get to it with Macramalla, but remind me if I forget, because he sometimes goes on a tangent, and then we completely lose track of what we're talking about. Like the responsibility of McDavid to set the new bar in the National Hockey League, as opposed to take maybe a little bit of a team-friendly deal to help. Like, how do you balance that, I guess, is...
Yeah,
like the NHLPA is going to be like, hey, McDavid, you're worth as much as you possibly can be worth.
Yeah.
You're worth the max on the max term. If McDavid goes, actually, man, I'm fine taking $1 million less than that so we can bring in another body to try to help win a cup. Like, how do you balance that?
Does he take the Sidney Crosby route? And they'll be all over him to take more. and like it's all about the middle of the pack guys and raising their salaries, right? I don't see him taking the max, Dusty.
No, I think he should do the old Crosby thing and take 9.7 mil. Yeah. Daryl Cates can slip him 10 mil a year under the table somewhere else. I mean, he'll get his money. You don't have to worry about that. All right, let's get into free advice for Damon Bunting. Buying or selling, he is your guy. www.damonbunting.com. You can find him on Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. On Instagram, he posts homes, and then the next day he posts a video of him selling the home. So it moves it quickly. Good community guy. He's just a nice guy to do business with, man. We love Bunting, and you will too. DamonBunting.com. All right, what do you need help with? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Let's get to some advice here. Atif, of course, says, guys, I need some advice. On Monday, I was told to F off at McMahon Stadium. He called it McMahon Station. After the Elks won by a Stampeders fan. I wanted to say something, but I just smiled and waved because the Elks won. What should I have said back? I think you handled it correctly.
No, yeah. I loved I saw his picture in enemy territory. Glass is still not clean.
Not a chance.
Which was great.
He did not know who was winning that game. There's no chance he could have seen that.
No, that's you smile. That's the best way. That drives
drives even more, man.
The opposing fans crazy when you just have nothing to say.
They hate your guts on that one.
Great
move. You handled it well, Atif.
Yeah.
You're a pro. You're a pro's pro. Dusty, should I start Calvin Ridley or Jaden Waddle? I have Calvin Ridley in a couple of leagues, but if I had Jaden Waddle, I would start Waddle ahead of him. So I guess Waddle. Nielson, would you trade Derrick Henry straight up for HN before week 1? Probably. That's close. I mean, they were both being drafted in the second round, early third round. I would. Something very intriguing about Derrick Henry with the Ravens. You know, like
is there too much mileage on that?
Well, I mean, yeah, but he's a freak.
I know.
You know, and you're right. At some point, things are going to catch up with him. But with the threat of Lamar running, it should open some things up for Derrick Henry to have a pretty good season.
Yeah,
and I don't see like they're not going to now. Lamar could take some rushing touchdowns away from him. You should probably throw Derrick Henry in on the parlay too. I mean, he's probably going to get his first game. He might get a touchdown too. But with HN, you got Raheem Mostert kind of lurking around there. They got that other running back this year, Jalen White. A lot of mouths to feed in that offense. I mean, in a PPR league, I'd probably take HN, but if it's standard league, I'd probably go Derrick Henry. 780-218-9999. Guys, I had a buddy offer me Leon Draisaitl yesterday for Elias Pettersson and Seth Jarvis in a keeper league. Should I do it? Well, keeper league.
Yeah.
And that's two pretty good players you'd have to give up to get them. But, I mean.
So, well, that's 100 points. Jarvis is
going to be like a 70, 80 point guy, I think, on the regular. Now, it depends. Like, does this open up a spot for you to keep somebody else? Like, I don't know the ins and outs of your league. I'm curious about it. I want to know more. If you could share that would be great. It's two pretty good players, though, for Leon Draisaitl. I don't know.
I think you're definitely getting way more points that year
with the other two guys.
But how?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand. I need to know we need to know the details of your league if we're going to give you correct advice on that one. I think. All right, let's see here. Abutsky says Caleb Williams or Jared Goff. Who would you start in week 1?
What you would say about this? How do you lean this? This is tough for you, isn't it?
I mean, I like both of them from a draft perspective because value-wise, you could get them. I was just checking. Okay, so the Bears play the Titans. I knew that the Lions played the Rams. Bears play the Titans. I mean, I'd probably start Goff, man. At home, against his former team.
Yeah,
I think I'd probably go Goff.
He's there. I mean, they're one of the favorites this year now.
You know what? Where you look, most places at Abutsky, I will tell you, Williams will probably be rated higher, but this is a little bit of a homer gut feeling. But I think Goff's gonna have a nice game.
I love Jared Goff did one of those walk-ons to a college with a disguise on.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, he was great.
And he was just firing darts at these guys. And all the other quarterbacks were like half his size.
That would be fun to do that sometime. Yeah. It is funny to see him with all those other you're like, this guy's a giant. Like,
that's how I looked when Cujo came on the ice.
La Bamba guy's in and says, guys, it just started fantasy and I joined a league. Right after the draft, I got a trade proposal offering Devontae Smith and Zach Moss for Matthew Stafford and Gabe Davis. I already have Stroud and Dak as my starting two. No other one on the bench. Good trade or no? No, I would not. This is obviously a super flex league, I would think. Because if it's not a super flex league, I don't think anybody would even really have Matthew Stafford, let alone trade for him. I would probably hang on to Smith and Moss. Stroud and Dak are fine. You don't need a really good third quarterback in super flex. So I think you probably hang on to your guys. I think. Dave says, guys, I have the third pick in a super flex draft. Who should I take? Hurts, McCaffrey, Jackson, or Allen? I would take with the third pick whoever is left out of those three quarterbacks. Usually in super flex drafts, McCaffrey's like the fifth guy off the board. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes should be the first four picks of a super flex draft. So Dave, you take Lamar, Allen, or Hurts, whoever's sitting there at 3. I think that's probably the smart way to go about it. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. Bison Mask guy says, Dusty, who do I start week 1, Ridley or Waddle? Dude, I already answered your question. You were sending it on Twitter last night. I saved it. I said I'd start Waddle today. So there you go. We got that one for you. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Paul Colson says, Keenan Allen or DeAndre Swift? Ugh. Check the injury status of Keenan Allen. I thought he was a little bit banged up today. So that might be something that you want to check in on. Jerome Ford and Higgins for ETN. That's interesting. Now, Ford's workload's probably going to get destroyed a little bit when Nick Chubb is healthy. I probably would hold ETN there. That's essentially trading like a 4th round pick and a 6th round pick for a 2nd round pick. And I just, I wouldn't do that. Let's get to this one. Boys, tough call here. I just started my 3rd year of university and I had scheduled a couple of afternoon classes, but after listening to the new content yesterday, I'm not sure I want to miss it. Should I drop out of school? What do you think? I mean, you could always podcast.
Yeah.
EST afternoons, Reed Wilkins. It's not as fun on the podcast, but you can still podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good, like, whenever, when you're coming home from school, throw it on. The Amishman, where is this? I just lost it. 19. Amishman 19 said, off to tune in. Have a good day, Nasties. Enjoy all the day EST bonanza. Like, that's, you're home, getting breakfast ready. You got YouTube on the TV, getting ready, and then you go to work. Throw on Tune In the car. Seamless. All day.
Tune In, iHeart. They both connect beautifully.
Yeah.
It automatically starts when I get in. When I start up the truck, iHeart with Edmonton Sports Talk just starts. So it's awesome.
I got a funny story about that. But
you want to share it?
No, I can't share it.
It's an off-air story?
Yeah, it's an off-air story. But Senior Boots, been listening for a couple hours and no ray gun references. Well, you might have to tune in at 1 to 3 where I really crowbar those in.
They've got a new segment every Wednesday. It's called the Ray Gun 10-minute extravaganza. That's how it works. All right, let's see here. PT Mark says, start Ford, Deontay Johnson, or Godwin. Flex position. Who's Carolina got this week? The Saints. Tampa's got the Commanders. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know what Deontay Johnson's going to look like in that other offense. I might just start the running back. He's going to get a pretty decent workload. That might be PPR, though. Maybe Godwin.
If you put half this effort into your NFL drafts as your F1 draft, you'd be all right. But
how am I doing in the F1 league? Had some good weeks.
You did have some good weeks.
Yeah.
Your prison team was actually on the podium a couple times.
No big deal, right? All right, 780-218-9999. And yeah, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, just tell your buddies how easy it is to consume our static-free since 23 content, and we think you will like it. Macramalla intros. Eric Macramalla, of course, brought to you by the great staff out at Park Mazda, where Mitch always texts in under the handles Tommy Rubella and Vance Van Vandervan. It's his whole shtick. Let's get to a few of these that have rolled in today. EST legal analyst and guy who keeps losing renovation cases because of his inability to pronounce the L in caulk. EST legal analyst and guy who wears a gimp suit and a ball gag to court because you dress for the job you want, not the one you have. EST legal analyst and guy who exists solely as a cautionary tale for others. Eric Macramalla. That's a pretty good one. And EST legal analyst and guy who's on a strict rude-shaped vegetable diet. Eric Macramalla joins us today. Macramalla, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, you got some new graphics here.
We got
I'm
some
on
new
the left
graphics.
now.
Yeah.
And,
What are you doing over
yellow
there?
frame. And then you got Dana White's older long lost brother as your co-host today. That's exciting.
At least you know who I am.
I still have no clue who you are. Apparently you played in the NHL. Whatever, I don't know. But I'm looking here and I'm thinking, you remind me a bit of Roger Clinton. Joaquin Gage. You remind me, Roger, like it's the brother nobody really talks about. You're Dana White's older long lost brother. You probably play, I don't know, the harpsichord or something. Anyway, I love harpsichords are great. So no one plays it because how does your kid take a harpsichord onto the bus, right? It's too big. Hello? Right?
Yeah, I don't even technically know what a harpsichord is. Are we just a harp?
I'll hand it.
Is that like...
Yeah, it's a big, huge thing. Yeah, I'll add it to my Tinder profile.
Google it. I mean,
is it just a harp? Is that just? Do people just call?
Google it. Go to Google Images. I'll wait. It's not like we're live. So this is a pre-tape, right?
Yeah. Oh wow, it's like a piano. It's a piano.
Piano. No, it's a harpsichord.
It kind of looks like a piano.
Can I say jackass? I guess I can. We're not. The CRTC is not.
We're not even live.
No.
I mean, it kind of looks like a piano.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, is that what you're saying? Yeah,
it's a big, huge thing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't fit on the school bus.
Eric, I have to say, do you know what one is?
Well, you're looking at more of a medieval harpsichord.
I mean, I think there's a difference between a harp and a harpsichord, right? Is that what we're...
I always thought it was a small piano.
Well, yeah, and then the harp is like the bigger one that you sit around, you straddle, and you go...
Yeah, like a trumpet, it's a small saxophone.
Yeah. Same type of thing.
This isn't live. We can cut all this out. With your new graphics, they're yellow. I'm in a yellow frame. I love it. Who came up with yellow? It's a stupid color.
Oh, it's part of our logo, right? So...
Yeah, but it's too much yellow. I feel like I'm in the office, like a urologist's office. It's just too much yellow. Tell me who came up with this. Is it the guy who's in love with his roommate's wife?
It is.
Yes.
I'm not in love with her, Eric. I'm not in love with her. 3 words for you: harpsichord. You can dazzle her if you can learn how to play the harpsichord.
Well, that would be romantic. Piano. That would be romantic. Trev, do you play any instruments?
I gave up on the accordion many moons ago. I played it for like not even 2 months.
So could you pick up an accordion and kind of play it a little bit?
The chicken dance song. No.
Oh, that's a classic. I mean, that's really all you need to know on any instrument, the chicken dance.
No. He plays the instrument of deception because he's in love with his roommate's wife. You still live with them after that first segment that I did? Ripping your entire life apart from the foundation up because it's time to move out.
Still there. Yeah, still there. I love her too much.
I love her too much.
When you say, oh, I love it. When you say you're still there, is that what the husband says too? Still there. Is that what he says? And
that might be what he says.
Eric Macramalla with us on the show this morning.
I haven't told you how much I hate Mitch in a long time. Right? Because when you migrated over as a maverick to this platform, which is the greatest thing in the whole world, I don't know. It's like I stopped being tormented by my disdain for Mitch. But I feel like now with your new graphics, all I'm seeing is Park Mazda. your dealer for life.
Exactly.
Which again, it's classic Mitch, right? You buy a car, he wants to be your friend forever. It's desperate and it's pathetic. How about your dealer for now? Not your dealer for life, but your dealer for now.
Your dealer
Agreed?
for the term of the lease. That could be,
your dealer, and then later, not your dealer. Your dealer for now, but not later. That should be the tagline. Your dealer for now, but not later.
All right, Leon Draisaitl, 8 years, 14 mil, a deal that gets done by your buddy. He's one of the agents for Leon Draisaitl.
All right, I can get you an interview.
Great,
I tried in the car.
Yeah, no, I figured it was a long shot. I was like, hey, get me Leon's agent tomorrow.
If I can't get him, you're not going to get him. Right?
Yeah, good point.
But I kind of said give it to you first if you can get him.
Yeah, that'd be
I
nice. Be nice to chat with him. With that being said,
you treated me so well over the years. You gave me all this money, sent me all this merchandise. It's been amazing.
We're not talking about your agent, who obviously can't get things done.
My agent is the worst. You know what my agent is? It's Henry Winkler. He used to be the fun. He's really sweet, but he's useless. Anyway.
What do you think? Good contract, great contract for Leon Draisaitl. How would you break down 8 years, 14 mil?
Oh, I think first, I when I heard it, I was so happy for you guys because it means Connor McDavid has just signed an 8-year deal. That's all it really means, right? Is Leon, as you know, is a German fella, and he's far more serious and buttoned up. He reminds me more of a kind of a Steve Yzerman type when it comes to his disposition and his personality.
Oh, yeah.
A real, that's not bad, eh? A real sharpened focus, and very much focused on the task at hand, and completely dedicated and committed. And he's someone that thinks things through very carefully and then thinks of all the possible permutations. So he would not have signed, in my estimation. I don't have any insider information except for what I'm making up. But he wouldn't have signed, in my estimation, if he wasn't relatively certain that Connor McDavid would also re-up with the Oilers. I think it's a great deal. I mean, when you sign these deals, you are overpaid on the front end and then underpaid on the back end, and then paid just about fair market value in the middle. The salary cap is what, 88 million, going up to like 92, and then potentially in 2 years as high as 104 million. That probably will be on, maybe that's a bit ambitious what the league is saying, as high as 104. So it comes down to the percentage cap hit for a player, right? It's like in the NFL. If a quarterback's cap hit is more than 14% of the overall salary cap, it makes it really difficult for that team to win, which is why you win on entry-level deals when you're an NFL team so far as your quarterback goes. I'm happy for you guys because Leon Draisaitl is a true professional. He doesn't screw around. He's serious and he's earnest in everything that he does. So I think it's a great deal for Leon, for the city, for the organization, and for anybody negotiating his next contract, because that will stand as a precedent.
Well, yeah, like the McDavid contract's the one that we find really interesting because I think we all agree with you. Like, it'd be weird if Draisaitl stayed and then McDavid left. And for McDavid, I mean, generational talent, contract comes up. How do you balance the Players Association being like, dude, you got to set the new bar, like you got to crank this up to another level, and McDavid being like, I wouldn't mind maybe taking $1 million less to, give the team a little bit of flexibility. Like, how much pressure is there, do you think, on McDavid to, if Draisaitl's at 14, how much pressure is it on to McDavid to take it to the absolute max that the NHL will allow?
I think it's a great question, because when you operate a hockey team, there are two things that are critically important. Is number one, you build through the draft, which the Oilers have done. And number two is you manage the salary cap very carefully within the narrow constraints of the CBA. So Darnell Nurse isn't the greatest contract in the world. So when you don't manage it carefully, you have a Nurse situation. And so far as Connor McDavid goes, he understands all of this. And to me, I expect his approach, going back to football, to be more Tom Brady than it might be Stephon Diggs. Mm-hmm. I expect him to put the team first. You only need so much money. I don't think he'll take $14 and $1, right? But probably a $15 million a year deal probably would be fine. But you can't. He's all about winning. Always has been. If you look at his career, he's had trouble winning. It's just winning anything at any level. You guys know this is so incredibly difficult. Like, I tell my 7-year-old kids, like, when they won a city championship, I go, guys, it is so hard to win. You may never win again for the next 10 years. Connor McDavid knows that. He doesn't have a history of winning. So I think he'll do what he can to make sure the team is as strong as possible. Competent, strong roster construction is only possible if you don't overspend on players. And you got a contract there on your team that's a bit of an albatross. So I think that's going to have to be managed.
The other angle I want your thoughts on this, because we had Wyshynski on earlier from ESPN, and we were talking about, two of the biggest stars in the game settling in likely in Edmonton for another decade. And he was talking about how, man, Gary Bettman would have loved to have one of these guys in a major American market. Then that kind of got into the conversation, Gager, about, does the NHL do a good enough job marketing their superstars anyway, regardless of what market they're in? So where do you come out on that? Like, let's say Draisaitl ended up in the Los Angeles with the Kings. Like, is the NHL actually going to do anything with it? Like,
it's a show. This is like a show. You ask such great questions. It's a show. We take nothing. We make it into something. It's a show. What did you do this morning? I brushed my teeth. I went to work. It's a show. That's it. Well, it's not on the air just yet. It's a fascinating question, right? Borrowing from another sport, this how baseball is. The issue with hockey players, or maybe the issue with hockey culture, insofar as how it produces public-facing players, it's more Mike Trout than it is Jeremy Roenick.
Fair point. Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
So it's the league can only do so much. Bob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, has begged Mike Trout many times, please open your mouth, say something, try and be the face of the game. He's simply not comfortable. That's just not how he is. Connor McDavid is on the ice is absolute pure insanity. To watch, if you watch him and you don't like his style of play, that's a you problem, and you're not a hockey fan. I mean, I just, how can you not love that? That speed is insanity, is insane. That the skill set at that speed is insane. But in front of a microphone, he's rather muted, serious, and there's not a lot of joy. But that's part of his makeup and disposition, is he takes this extremely seriously and has from a very young age. So you have a lot of players in the NHL. Sidney Crosby, he's not interesting to talk to. He's the girl you dated in high school that you kind of forgot you dated, right? When it comes to how you interact with the media. Jeremy Roenick was like a unicorn. PK Subban was unusual. We loved those players because they were honest. So hockey players are tough to market. I think the NHL is doing all they can with all these different, specials, and the Canadians have a behind the scenes thing. The Canadians have actually been ahead of the curve. I mean, they just past 2 years, they've released the behind the scenes of the draft, and it's available on YouTube, and it's really, really cool. I think it's just tough, Dustin. Don't you think it's tough to market NHL players? And it's also, it's tough to market the game in non-traditional markets in the U.S. There's just a big chunk of that country that doesn't know a damn thing about hockey.
Well, I don't say it very often, but great conversation today, Macramalla. We really appreciated it.
Yeah. What's Mitch doing right now? What do you think he's doing? I bet you
he's selling cars, man.
He goes, "Oh no, I'm out of toilet paper." He's got to walk through the dealership with his pants around his ankles, yelling, "Someone get me toilet paper with my monogram on it, because I'm Mitch from Park Mazda. You're dealer for life." No, you're dealer for now, and then later we'll see.
We'll see you next week, buddy. I love you. There you go. That is Eric Macramalla chiming in on the whole. I don't gauge you. I mean, you were a hockey player. I mean, there's colorful guys out there. It's just, are they picking the wrong guys to market? I guess would be the question.
Yeah, we're always dying for a little bit more, but then it always seems like when someone gives you a little bit more, it's like, oh, we shouldn't have said that.
Fair point.
He's making about himself. Like there's got to be a. And I like when Leon speaks. I think he's a little bit more, for a guy that has English as a second language. I think he gives you a lot more. There is a little bit more personality. Connor's very measured. I'm trying to think who is.
He's loosening up too, though.
He's thrown some jabs out there to reporters. Now that comes with age too. When you're young, you watch a young guy give an interview. It's painful.
The most personality we see from those two guys is when they're giving Speck a shot, or just to call a spade a spade. Like that is kind of when you see some personality come out. It's kind of sort of funny.
Yeah, as hockey players, it just seems we're pre-programmed to not make it about ourselves so much. It's always about the team, and you don't want to do anything to disparage the team, I guess. But I mean, I kind of think about back at some of my interviews that I did, and I remember I did one with Greg Millen way back when, and I said something kind of funny because they showed me trying to make a save, and it was just awful. I was swimming out there, and I made reference to me. He goes, "What is this?" He goes, "Well, that's the beached whale save." I said something like that, and he was like, "Oh my gosh," he said that quick, and afterwards said, "It was nice. Thank you for this. You showed some personality or whatever." Right.
Yeah.
So, and not that I gave any great interviews back then, and not that anyone really wanted to talk to me in the first place, but it would be nice to just have, like, sometimes you get a little bit more on with Louis after dark or whatever, after the game with some of those guys. They open up a little bit
hours.
more but not who watch it. Like, the's not a lot of guys that
It's
watch
late
it.
at night.
It's late, and everyone's 6 o'clock loggers deep at that point. So it would be nice to have. This is where I think that show, what we're looking for is the behind the scenes Drive to Survive type of show, and maybe that's
And
what
when they're doing, they're working on that, right? Like,
so this is what's
that's what
supposed
they were
to
just
come
shooting,
out.
and
So when this comes out I think it's in a couple months, this might actually make it a little bit easier and might open some eyes to marketers with some of these guys.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I hope they do it well.
And I actually know that Mitch from Park Mazda sold a car to a famous NHLer's son, I guess, the other day. I heard.
Whoa, Mitch from Park Mazda.
Yeah.
Nice work. Nice work. Good job, buddy. All right. We need somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now. If you would like to do that, text Trev at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We got that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual up for grabs. So come and get it. 780-218-9999. Not to give you too much of a clue here, but today's trivia will focus on some pretty big news in town yesterday. So you should be ready for this one, I would think. 780-218-9999. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox, and you two, Trev, will pick one of you. You'll play kind of easy trivia for that Mr. Mike's gift certificate. 780-218-9999. Coming up in the third hour of the show, 3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda. That hurts for James H. Brown and Geroy Simon, interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks, and pop by around 8:35 today. More of your text messages. If you're watching over on YouTube today, we are very close to changing 300. By the time Trev's done this update, we're only 10 away. Let's hammer the thumbs up on YouTube. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, if you like Zacticum. Where's Zacticum right now? Vancouver? He's in Vancouver.
What's he doing in Vancouver?
I don't know, but he just texted in. He goes, Trev, my friend, kind of easy trivia? Question mark? LOL. Not that funny, Zach.
No.
Pick somebody else, Trev.
I can see him laughing. Like that LOL is actually him laughing.
He's like, the guys are going to love this. The guys are going to love this.
I'm going to win Rookie of the Year. Like, this is just great stuff. No, that is kind of funny.
I've never had so many conversations with a guy behind a shut door. Like, because when I leave here, like, he'll talk, and you're like, I got to kind of go, and you feel bad that he's still talking.
You're walking out.
I'm down the stairs, and he's still talking to me.
What a beauty. All right. We got a update coming up here for Claiborne Services, that if you are looking for a job, Claiborne Services, they want you. That's it. It's done. You're hired. ClaiborneServices.com. Trev will have more on that after a sports update.
This just in, Patrick Surtain and the Denver Broncos have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $96 million extension, which includes $77.5 million guaranteed, now making him the highest paid defensive back in NFL history. Yesterday in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays lost in a close 10-9 ball game to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Blue Jays will finish their 2-game series this afternoon against the Phillies. First pitch on that one starts at 1 o'clock. Sticking in the majors, it was Shohei Ohtani's first game back in Angel Stadium last night. The superstar was looking to make history as the first ball player to ever have 50 stolen bases and 50 home runs in a single season. And I can confirm that last night he didn't have any of those, but the Dodgers did take the win in extra innings by the score of 6-2. And in CFL football, Rock Armstead has been released and replaced with running back Jamal Morrow. Armstead was leading rusher for the Red Blacks this season with 623 yards. But when asked on why they made this decision, Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice said, quote, "We felt it was in the best interest to move on," end quote. And in hockey, Montreal Canadiens forward Cole Caulfield will be changing his number this season to 13 in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. And yesterday, former Oilers defenseman Tyson Barrie signed a PTO with the Calgary Flames. I'm YouTube Trev, and now you're up to date. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728.
Try, 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 try. Try, 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 try. Leon scored a goal tonight. Watching him plays quite a sight. You know this song is tight. Oilers fans, come on. You loved him endlessly since he was drafted number 3. He's a center with a size that was born in Cologne. Try to stop him, you can't do much more. That ain't no lie. You just wanna see him shoot and score. It was try, 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 try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try, 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 try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try, 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 try. Gonna make a fool out of you. Probably score a goal and assist on 2. You can't stop him, and that ain't no lie. Cause it's try, 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 try. Don't even try to play him rough. Leon is a German, so you know he's tough. His hands are crazy and Aikens loves his eyes. Yeah, it's try, 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 try.
Leon Draisaitl goal song. Lock it in for 90% of the next decade. That's going to be absolutely incredible. We'll get to 3 questions too many coming up here. Geroy Simon's going to pop by around 8:35. What a turnaround for the Edmonton Elks. Holy smokes. Yeah. I'm just going to give him all the credit when he joins us today. Congratulations on all the success you've now got for this team.
And I apologize to you in advance, but there will be no care package Saturday.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
I've never seen you look at me so angry.
Well, actually, I got to tell you this. I'm at the Banjo Bowl.
Oh!
So it doesn't matter.
Oh, there. Well,
so it doesn't matter.
Good planning.
Is this the only game you're missing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm there for the next few.
Okay.
I was a little nervous there. Man, I would have had to buy the boys burgers and dogs because they become so used to getting them.
I know. It's like pressure now. I put that box together. I'm like, okay, what Suit's gonna like?
It's a great little box.
Okay, the Dusty likes those donair sandwiches. I'll take the tomatoes and onions out.
Yeah, exactly. Do that. It's real nice. All right, 780-218-9999. The Nielsen Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet for the best deal, the best price. Look no further. Quick drive out to Fort Sask. Go see Daniel and his team. Tell them we sent you. Get 15% off accessories on your new ride. What type of ride are you talking about? We're talking Silverado 1500s, heavy duties. Boom. Visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. We'll get to That Hurts coming up for James H. Brown. 3 questions too many on the way as well. Geroy and the Rap still to come. Tomorrow morning, Eric and I will be actually live out from the Quarry for the EE Alumni Golf Tournament. And we'll have a bunch of former Edmonton football guys on the team. So we're on the show tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. We'll connect with a few of those guys. I'm actually playing in Sean Fleming's group.
Oh, yeah?
And I always get nervous because I suck.
Yeah, me
right?
too.
So you know how it is in those tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if I can just step up, if they could use one of my first 3 drives, totally changes the way I play the rest of the round.
See, I don't look at the drive. I look at knocking it stiff from inside the 150. If I can get it within a and get a birdie for the team, that's because I don't care about the drive.
You know what? It would be nice to step up and knock in a 12-foot putt and just be like, I'm here, boys.
Yeah.
That's what I do. You know,
because at the EST tournament on what is that? Is that the 8 or? It's 8. That par 3.
Par 3 down the hill there.
I put it within 4 feet.
No.
Yeah.
Holy
and
smokes!
So we were going nuts. And
Who are you, Scotty Scheffler?
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
It was a tough and below the hole and drained it. Like it was my own birdie. So the boys went nuts.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
That's great. All right, let's play a little kind of easy trivia today for Mr. Mike's. I learned about this when I was listening to the commercial yesterday afternoon. The Edmonton Sports Talk. It's great. Mr. Mike's right now celebrating 60 years of the Mike Burger.
Wow.
Yeah, you're invited to taste history. How about this? This is so nice. Taste history for just $8.99 at Mike Burger Madness. Savor the original flame-grilled Mike Burger on their signature garlic French loaf. So good. For a limited time, dine-in only price of $8.99 just for the burger. It's Mr. Mike's Mike Burger Madness. You'd be mad to miss it. Say that. Say that. It's Mr. Mike's Mike Burger Madness, and you'd be mad to miss it.
That's pretty good.
Say that 3 times, so that'd be tough. Offer ends September 30th. Eat locally. Enjoy casually at Mr. Mike's with the Mike Burger Madness. Who's playing today, Trev? Who do we got?
Paco is going to give it a go.
Paco.
Paco.
I don't know if we've ever had Paco play.
Don't think so.
This is very exciting news today. All right, let's go to Paco. Paco, good morning. You ready to play? Paco.
Oh, Paco.
Trev's going to reset the phone quickly. I was very excited to get to Paco. I just got more time to sit here and think about that classic Mike Burger. $8.99? Are you kidding me?
Is it $8.99?
It's $8.99. Sides are extra.
Okay.
But I mean, I'd pay $12 for that burger. It's delicious. And it doesn't come on a regular bun. It comes on that French loaf. You know what I'm talking about. Absolutely delicious.
Well, confession. I've never had a Mike's Burger. I'm kind of particular about my hamburgers, though.
First of all, you're not going to be bringing, I guess I'm not there, but you disappoint me in that fashion. You've never had a classic Mike Burger?
No.
Oh, we're going to change that.
Yeah.
Change that. My goodness. I was like, are you talking about today? I've already had one today. How did you not have one? All right, let's bring in Paco again. Paco, you ready to go?
Yes.
Oh, wow, you sound great.
Ooh, yeah.
This phone is weird. Sometimes it won't connect, but when we have it, it sounds like you're sitting right next to us. This is awesome. I'll start the ticker after I read the first question, okay?
Okay.
Good luck, man. Who signed an 8-year extension with the Oilers yesterday?
Draisaitl.
What number does Leon Draisaitl wear?
29.
What country is Leon Draisaitl from?
Germany.
True or false? Leon was drafted 6th overall.
True.
Who is taller, Draisaitl or McDavid?
McDavid.
No! He got it. No! Got 3.
All right.
He got 3.
Stop it! They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Paco! He was cruising along, and then it kind of fell off the rails there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you remember when Draisaitl was drafted 3rd, not 6th?
Yeah, I think so.
That surprised me a little bit. And then who is taller? It's close, but Draisaitl, according to their profiles, is an inch taller than Connor McDavid.
How tall is Draisaitl?
6'2".
6'2"?
Yeah, McDavid's 6'1".
He's not 6'1". Is he taller than that, isn't he?
I don't know. He's listed at 6'1". Last night I looked. So
some of those are central scouting numbers, though. I think they're old.
Well, I think it was his hockey DB page.
Okay.
So, whatever. Paco got 3 out of 5. He's off to take advantage of the Mike Burger Madness. I'd use that $25 gift card on at least. I'd go 2 classic Mike Burgers and a 6 o'clocker lager.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's what you could do.
That's what you could.
That's what you could do. I think that would. I think that would work. I think that'd be all right. Hey, Trev, changing 300.
Changing 100.
I love it. That's good. I can't wait till we get to the changing 500. It's going to happen.
We got that yesterday, and with with Hernan, and he was like, "What's going on?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want a kid? Like, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. I mean, Draisaitl signed yesterday. This should be a changing 400 type of day. We're already at 328. Easy peasy. Hammer the thumbs up for us. We would appreciate that. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. And when you hop in your car to go to work today, just listen to the station on TuneIn or iHeart. We got you covered from 6 in the morning until 6 at night. And even last night I checked in. I was doing some work at like 11 o'clock. And there was a Reed Wilkins Show replay on TuneIn on iHeart. And I checked in on the numbers, and it was actually pretty good.
Oh, really?
I was just like, man, there's people listening at 11 o'clock to a Reed Wilkins Show replay. So, and if you missed the Reed Wilkins Show yesterday or you missed EST Afternoons yesterday, 2 new fabulous programs available here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where Mitch is currently hiring another lawyer to go after Macramalla after years and years of abuse. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. Trev, what's your YouTube? What's your Twitter account? Give us that Twitter account. Glue Guy's getting that Reed Wilkins Show afternoon bump.
Yeah, he got a huge bump yesterday. I'm pretty sure this race is as good as gone.
No.
Because I was like 50 behind him, but then all of a sudden now I'm 100 behind him again. But yeah, if you want to help me, and maybe this will be one of the greatest finishes in history of racing. But Glue Guy and I were racing to 1,000 followers on Twitter. If you want to give me a follow, YouTube_Trev, because I want to beat him.
All right. But you're crushing him on the gram, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Don't.
Suck it, Glue Guy.
Man, you're on fire today. You gave us a suck it, Glue Guy, and you gave us a thank me later on your anytime touchdown pick with our partners over at Coolbet. By the way, Lock Shop today. Huge NFL Futures episode, 11 o'clock, right here on Edmonton Sports.
You're really starting to throw that weight around. That extra weight's
that
really...
extra weight, yeah. I am.
That worked out pretty well. Somebody texted in, I think it was in a text. Inbox is taking a pretty good pounding today, but it was just like, you guys got to treat Zach to come like a pet bird and just put when it's time for him to stop talking, just put a blanket over him.
He just doesn't move. Just doesn't move until you.
That is perfect.
God, Zach, we love you, but that is hilarious.
Pretty bird.
Pretty Zach. Pretty Zach.
Pretty bird.
What a bet, Zach. What a beauty. All right, question number 1. Here we go. How many Stanley Cups do the Oilers have to win over the next 9 years of Draisaitl for it to be considered a success?
9.
Oh, jeez.
No. Geez, man, it's so hard.
That's why I was going to say, like, isn't the answer 1? 1, like, it seems so snobby of us to be like, I expect these guys to win 3 Stanley Cups or I will criticize them for the rest of their days. You know, like, that just doesn't seem fair.
If they even come close to 3, that's ridiculous. But it's a success if there's 1. I mean, these guys are going to be competitive for the next few years. Like, the window is still wide open. I said it before. Although their average age is high, their best players are all in their prime. So. No, it's 1.
I think 1 would make it a success. I will be honest. I'd probably be disappointed if they don't get 2 cups out of McDavid and Draisaitl. But I mean, not getting 1 would be devastating. Having McDavid and Draisaitl for over 15 years and not delivering a Stanley Cup is a hard look. And I don't believe for a second that they won't. But I feel like those guys are capable of a couple.
I think so too. But I mean, I look over at Ovi. 1 makes him his career, right?
Like he got 1. You got to get 1. You got to have 1.
Well, you got to have 1.
And they'll get 1. I'm pretty sure they'll get 1.
I can't wait for Ovi watch. I hope he just goes crazy the first.
Oh yeah. I hope he scores 25 by Christmas.
Yeah.
Then it's on.
Then it's really on.
Like Ovi watch night. Like it would be great. I want to see that for him. I do. I think it'd be cool.
And Strome already said didn't he say? He's playing with Strome, right? Is that
who they're going to roll him with? That's his job then?
Yeah, that's what he said.
He gets to be the centerman who takes Ovi to the all-time record.
My job is to help Ovi score goals this year. That's what he said.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Like, we like our jobs too, but that's a better one. That's a better one. Marshall, we were walking to school yesterday. I said, hey, how's your NHL 24 season going? He goes, pretty good, Dad. He goes, I'm tied with Ovi for the goal lead. I said, really? He goes, yeah, he's got 11. I have 11. He's doing that first, like, as be a player for the first time. He's on the Chicago Blackhawks. I was like, really?
Oh.
He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm on a line with Taylor Hall. I was just like, really? He goes, yeah, he's helping me. He goes, and who's that defenseman they have? I said, Jones. He goes, yeah, Jones. I'm always out there with him too. So Marshall's racing Ovi right now on NHL 24. It's hilarious.
That's great.
All right, question number 2. Guys, which team's fan base do you think was most frustrated when they heard the Draisaitl news yesterday?
Oh.
Like which other team? I think you can look at this a couple of different ways too. One, you could look at it as teams that were hoping maybe they'd get him.
Yeah.
Or 2, teams in the Western Conference that are like, damn it. Now we have to go through that guy with the other guy likely for the next 10 years.
You know, I always had this feeling that if it ever got to it, he would be going to Nashville just because of the way he's treated that team over the past.
Yeah, he's been their daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after hearing Wyshynski with how the Boston Bruins were talking and basically keeping the seat warm, I'd have to say the Boston Bruins. If they thought that's what their future number 1 center was going to be.
Part of me thinks it might be the Los Angeles Kings. Not because they had a shot at him, but because the Kings are just going to continue to lose to the Oilers in the first round of the playoffs for the next 9-10 years. Do you guys also realize that this gets us to a point in our lives where like 7, 8 years from now, we'll be talking about Draisaitl's washed. You know, like they'll be like,
I know.
It'll be like he gets 82 points, and you're like, what's going on? And you're like, well, he's near the end of his career now. Like
he's a 3rd-line center on the Edmonton Oilers.
yeah, imagine if we ever got to that. It would never. I don't know how you would replace him, but like that's what we set ourselves up for. Like tail end Leon Draisaitl. We'll be talking about Hall of Fame and stuff at that point, but. It's still going to be really weird when we get the text message like, guys, I just think Draisaitl's too old now. Like, what are you going to do? He's slowed down.
I don't think we ever will. Tell you the truth, Dusty. He's too good, too talented, too smart. We'll speak of him as in the same air as a Joe Pavelski, right? I think that's what he becomes at the end of his career. Better than Pavelski.
Yeah.
It's not like
he's
he's
just highly regarded.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. Guys, with full 6 to 6 programming, what's next for Edmonton Sports Talk?
Gauge After Dark.
Wouldn't that be something? Let me see here. So 6 to 6, pre and post game, Oilers and Elks. We got that taken care of. We had Riverhawks. We had Stingers this past year. That was fun. And talk about maybe expanding our Stingers coverage a little bit next year. I mean, this is really a question for you guys. I right now, I wouldn't mind working in like some YouTube Trev streaming on the channel, like video games late at night on non-Oilers games.
I second that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. Like,
oh, yeah.
Or even like, you stream it one night, I stream once a month at a night. Like,
that'd be cool.
It'd be kind of fun. Yep. Get Marshall on there. Put a headset on him. You can hear him freak out at the age of 9. I don't know. That may be like a fun little evening sort of thing, like some video game streams on there. I don't know. What else, Gage? You're like...
That's good. I wouldn't mind I don't know. There's always a financial planning segment late at night. A cooking segment, maybe.
A cooking segment. That could be something we could do. Yeah. We got lots of hours left on YouTube, right?
I like a wine tasting, something.
I was talking with Reed yesterday about, I don't know if there would be an appetite anymore for like a night show. Like 9 to midnight might be like back in the day, and we had some
Struddy.
Hey Struddy, you usually don't start Shoggy's podcast till just after midnight. So why don't you come on from 9 till midnight and do it? Like, but he did that.
He did, yeah.
Corey Graham and those guys, Majot, they had a great show together for a while. I don't know. Like people nowadays, I think are just. I mean, would they watch that or would they just watch streaming shows at night, like on Netflix
landscape?
And stuff?
Like
it's different now.
Because before you didn't get it, right? So the bulk of the programming during the day, but now, like you said, you looked at the numbers at 11 o'clock last night, and there were people listening to it. That's what are watching it. So I think the landscape's changed so much. I don't know if there's maybe not every night, but there's something.
I mean, we're gonna have lots of nights filled with Oilers pre and post anyway. So
that's 82.
It's tough to throw another show in there, really.
Yeah.
Trev, you got any ideas? You're a young hip YouTube Trev.
Yeah, aside from like on-air live programming, which we're just crushing it in, it's tough to, we're on air pretty well all day now, right? So it's tough to find a new show, but from YouTube, it was designed for videos, right? Not to be live, but now it is live, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to I'd like to just, post some more videos on our
That's a good idea.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes competitions. I feel like if we start doing that, the Nasties would really like that.
That's a good idea. I think, you know what? That's probably the best way to go. We don't need more live content on YouTube, but just actually putting together some fun content videos.
Competitions. I feel like that would go a long way.
That's probably a good idea.
We're also competitive at heart.
Yeah.
And the Nasties love it. And we love it.
Something like that would be a lot of fun, I think. I would love to get to a spot somewhere down the road where, and for such a long time in this city, like when I first moved here, it was like Dave Mitchell and Adam Cook on CTV covering sports, and you had Sexy and Carius and Millard and then Quinn at Global covering sports. And those sports departments have just been whittled away and don't exist anymore. And nobody goes out and puts together like a 2-minute story on the Golden Bears basketball team this year. Stuff like I'd love to get to a point where
some local stuff.
We have people going out and doing like 2.5-minute story on local athlete who competes in this event. You know, like that would be something cool that
I think so.
And I know like the crazy contest videos and stuff would probably move the needle more on YouTube, but I think as a sports community, that's something that where there's a million bloody people in the city.
Yeah.
You got great Alberta Junior Hockey League programs. Like there's tons of different little unique sort of stories that we could bang out that way too, which I think would be kind of cool.
I always loved the when you were playing men's league, then the men's league report.
The Rec League postgame. Rec League postgame was a great bit. It was a great bit.
It was a great
That was a fun. I always, you know what? That was one of the first wins I wanted to do as a video.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to like have the towel over my shoulder and just soaked, and Eric's asking me videos. The one thing we are looking at doing, and we're talking with one of the rec leagues about it, but I think there will come a time in January or February where we will have a rec league game broadcast live on the station, and I'll go call it. And you could do color.
Oh, yeah.
Have one of the boys down on the sidelines. Reed could do the pregame and like the full-blown rec hockey league broadcast experience.
That would be great.
And it would be hilarious. We could get notes from all the teams and you could be like, this guy's worked 4 jobs in the last 2 years. Like just a real reality check of rec league. And I'm not talking Div 1 rec league. I'm talking like Div 9. Where we'd be like, oh, he fell in the corner again. No one was around him. Like that type of stuff. I think that would be phenomenal content. So what do you got, Trav? It looks like you're...
I just want to highlight these 3 comments that made me laugh. VR in the nasty chat. YTT rates rocks. I think that could be fun. Rip City Step. YouTube Trev reads a phone book every night from 9 to 12 on EST. And Martin in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Reed Wilkins After Dark analyzing YouTube Trev's post NHL 25 stream.
The breakdown after.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, that's something you could. You could do something with that too. Anyway, the best thing about Edmonton Sports Talk is we can kind of do whatever we want. And that means, some of you might have like a ridiculous idea, but we could actually maybe do it. Look at the Esties, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to the Esties coming up with That Hurts for James H. Brown, but like the Esties are happening and there's going to be well beyond 100 and 150 people at a theater to give out awards for Edmonton Sports Talk. And everybody's going to be wearing like suits and tuxes and stuff. And there's going to be a red carpet. It's going to be ridiculous.
This is crazy.
So stuff like that we can make some weird stuff work. So no idea is a bad idea anymore. I mean, we can always some ideas are bad, but consider everything. So yeah, hit us up 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Mike, the Michigan fans in it says you need like a college football Saturday show. It'd be the only place in Western Canada that would do something like that. That's true. And it is huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. That's a good one. I did briefly think about it because Jay Onright was on with Reed and Milne yesterday. And he was talking about TSN. I was like, man, eventually everybody gets cut. It's just how it's going to work. And I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if like Reed Wilkins was like, we got Oilers pre and post, and then tonight the Jay Onright show at 10 o'clock, and Onright just does the same show, like all the highlights and everything. That'd be a dream come true, man. Like that would be ridiculous. But he said he's an Alberta boy.
Yeah.
And you never know. Maybe he wants to retire up in Athabasca and do his highlight show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. That'd be good. All right, Geroy Simon is on the way. After that, we will get to That Hurts from the personal injury lawyers over at James H. Brown. We'll get into that. Probably going to see Trent tomorrow. I think James H. Brown is presenting the EE alumni tournament that we're going to be at tomorrow. So Trent will probably hop on the show
and that's
tomorrow morning. It's at the Quarry. Yeah, I haven't played the Quarry all year. I haven't played anywhere. So we were walking home yesterday from the first day of school, and I was chatting with my neighbor about the Draisaitl news, and he goes, hey, how many rounds of golf have you played this year? And I said, like, personal rounds? Like, just zero.
Yeah.
Like, I played in, so then we got this discussion with my wife, the boys trip in June, where I go and play the 3 rounds. I said, that doesn't count. Those aren't like local personal rounds. That's a trip. And then 2 tournaments, and that's it. So I haven't had a lot of golf this year, so I'm looking forward to this EE alumni thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it still scrambles for me. I'm playing I'm playing in a scramble probably this weekend. So
yeah, that's right. I played the white court thing.
The Heroes, Hockey Heroes.
Yeah, I heard that yesterday on your show too when I was driving around. People are like, celebrity? Really, Gator? Like, that was funny. All right, Geroy's on the way. Who does he credit for this turnaround? They're 4-1 in their last 5. They somewhat look, in a non-homer comment here, they somewhat look like possible Grey Cup contenders, which is unbelievable to say after the start they had this season. We'll get into that. Right now, though, if you're looking for a place to sit or sleep, sit and sleep. Got you covered. Let's get to that update with YouTube Trev.
30 minutes ago, Patrick Surtain and the Denver Broncos have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $96 million extension, which includes $77.5 million guaranteed, now making him the highest paid defensive back in NFL history. Yesterday in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays lost in a close 10-9 ball game to the Philadelphia Phillies. The Blue Jays will finish their 2-game series this afternoon against the Phillies. First pitch on that one is this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Sticking in the majors, it was Shohei Ohtani's first game in Angel Stadium last night. The superstar looking to make history as the first baseball player to ever have 50 stolen bases and 50 home runs in a single season. And I can confirm that last night he didn't have any of those, but the Dodgers did take the win in extra innings by the score of 6-2. And in CFL football, Rock Armstead has been released and replaced with running back Jamal Morrow. Armstead was the leading rusher for the Red Blacks this season with 623 yards, but when asked on why they made this decision, Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice said, quote, "We felt it was in the best interest to move on," end quote. And in hockey, Montreal Canadiens forward Cole Caulfield will be changing his number this season to 13 in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. And yesterday, former Oiler defenseman Tyson Barrie signed a PTO with the Calgary Flames. I'm YouTube Trev, and now you're up to date. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. You can find them next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
Game 7, baby.
7.
It's gonna be juicy.
It's where I get my juice.
I walked into the party.
CC to Kulak. He's got tons of room. He tees one up, and they score! The Oilers take a 2-0 lead off of a point shot from Brett Kulak, tipped in by Evander Kane.
Game 7, baby.
Over to Kane. Kane, he's home free. The runway is open. The net is open, and Kane scores again.
Juicy.
7.
It's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be juicy. Game 7, baby. It's gonna be juicy.
7.
7. 7. 7. 7. 7.
Hey, 35 on the Nielson Show. That hurts for James H. Brown coming up. And we will have Geroy Simon, just waiting for Geroy to connect, and he should be popping on here right away as well. Lots of people reaching out about the rec league thing. And like people, we've already got people who were like, I run this league and I run that league. And Team Belanger is like, hey man, my team plays every Sunday at 6 o'clock. Just saying. We've already had a couple of leagues reach out. It is something that we're probably gonna we wanted to do it at 1260 back in the day, but there was no like push forward on it at 1260. So we're going to do this. And we're going to broadcast a rec league game. And I was just talking with Gager. I said, you know what we have to do? Because it could be a month of content alone of teams who are interested in having their rec league game broadcasted with us. And I don't even hate the idea of it being like at 10 o'clock at night. Because that's what rec league is. Like, you would have to send in like your team resume, where you talk about like the successes and failures your rec league team has had, how long you've been together. I want to see a picture of the uniform. And then we want bios of every one of your guys.
Like a full
so we can
resume.
hear about like Chris, who has
divorced 3 times.
Divorced 3 times because of rec league. And like all this. And I think we just find the biggest beauty team and we go call their game.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
great.
Absolutely amazing.
That would be hilarious.
So that's something to look at. And if you'd like to partner with us on that, you can email us. If you want to partner with us on anything, business@edmontonsportstalk.com. I mentioned a little bit earlier, we're thinking of getting a photographer for the Esties. Kind of got to document a legendary night like this. So if you're in the photography business and you wouldn't mind partnering with us, business@edmontonsportstalk.com. Trev, I think Geroy's trying to connect there. So we're bringing Geroy Simon, the interim general manager of the Red Hot Edmonton Elks. What can you say? I mean, offensively, they've been good. Defensively, I just think they're an outstanding football team. I know the numbers might say a little bit otherwise, but from a talent perspective, all 5 members of their secondary have at least 2 interceptions. Yep. 3 of them have 3 interceptions. 2 of them came up with 2 interceptions just in the Labor Day Classic. Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson at the linebacker positions have now been joined by the veteran Moncrief. But those 2 guys, Morgan and Anderson, are absolutely all over the field. Nick Anderson is he looks like a little bulldog. Like he's just, he's like sub 6 feet, but he's everywhere you need him to be. And I thought overall the Elks defensively, Gager, just caused major issues for Jake Mayer and Calgary in that Labor Day Classic.
Yeah, no, I said it yesterday. In the fourth quarter, it's total night and day from the beginning of the season, where it was such like they blanketed the receivers of the Calgary Stampeders. There was nothing for them Mayer going through his progressions. There was just nothing, and that was the reason they got turnovers and forced throws.
Yeah,
it was a mass. It was the best I had seen the Elks close out a game and just say, nope, you guys are done. Especially if there was 10 minutes left, and you said it on the broadcast, still a lot of time left to play. Right?
Well, I'd like to know what Geroy was thinking when Peyton Logan returned that punt. Must have been like, oh, what's happening? Let's bring in Geroy, the interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks. Geroy, you got to tell me, when Logan takes that back, what's going through your mind?
I can't say on this broadcast what I said because the game should have been over. But to allow a punt return for a touchdown, especially at that time of the game, I was pretty hot, but I still had confidence in our team that we would close the game out.
Well, and then you closed it out in thrilling fashion, for me at least, calling the game. The touchdown pass to Jones was a huge one. It was a phenomenal moment. What's the vibe like around the team after winning that game in that fashion?
Well, the last 5-6 weeks, it's been a great vibe around here. The thing is, we're just trying to promote positivity and play complementary football. We're trying to build these guys up, letting them know that they're here for a reason. We have confidence in them, and we know that if we go out and execute at a high level, we have a very good opportunity to win games.
Go ahead, Gager.
Geroy, I just there's being in a situation that the Elks were at the beginning of the year, seeming like nothing could go wrong. You're always looking for something, some sort of spark to to ignite the team. I mean, the change of ownership, I think that stability factor is something. But was there any other like you're trying to grab anything at any point? And it's kind of interesting to me that if I look at the parallels between the seasons of the Edmonton Oilers last season and the Elks this year, where things look bleak. They weren't good at all, and you saw what the Oilers were compared to. Are you drawing any comparables to seeing what, obviously getting to the championships like the other professional team in the city? Is there that kind of belief? Because now we're talking about who's a favorite to get to the Grey Cup, and I know there's a long road ahead, but is there now a lot more light at the end of that tunnel?
Well, and trying to put this team together, through the off season, when we started making some transactions, I felt that we had an opportunity. And then once the season started, even though we were losing games, I could see the talent. I could see, the ability to play at a high level. We just weren't doing that. Then obviously the change was made, but we made a couple transactions that bring guys in, which, for me, I'm not big on bringing other guys in from other teams. I want to bring our own guys, and I want to build. But sometimes you have to cherry pick and bring a guy in. We brought in Derek Moncrief. We brought in Oakman, and then Tevin Jones was a great addition to what we were doing. And those three guys, they're veteran guys of the league, and they've had success. And then they brought just a level of professionalism and leadership. And then obviously when the head coaching and general manager change would happen, the one thing that I said that we're going to do differently is we're going to practice smarter, and we're going to teach these guys how to get in position and let their athletic ability take over. Because if they know what they're doing, we feel like we're bigger, stronger, and faster than other teams, and we can play more aggressive. But they have to know what they're doing, and that's where you can see the change, and that's where you can see the confidence level grow, because these guys know exactly what's going on in each and every play, each and every situation, and more times than not, now we're successful.
It's funny with your receiving core, and it was so talented and deep at the beginning of the year, and then obviously some injuries sort of popped up. But when you guys brought in Tevin Jones, and having watched what he did with the Riders, I was a little surprised he was still kicking around out there. And when you brought him in, I thought, man, where's he going to fit in? Because you already have so many talented receivers. But I mean, I think he was a little bit patient. I know he was on special teams, and now given the opportunity, he's a little bit different than the other guys that you have, isn't he?
Well, the thing about Tevin is, what I don't know if many people realize, he's a high character, high quality player, but he played in the NFL. He has tons of experience, and then his experience in Saskatchewan, where I couldn't believe they didn't re-sign him back, and then he goes to Montreal. But the thing is about Tevin, he's big. He's 6'2", he's 215, 220 pounds, but his ability to catch and run is something that we didn't have. And, when he came in, he was playing special teams. I was like, okay, when are we going to put this guy on offense? But it had to take some time, because he had to learn the offense. He had to learn the nuance of it. So once the change was made, he got the opportunity. And the thing is, what we did was Jerry does a great job of paring things down and making things super simple, that we can just go out and play and not have to think about 120 plays. We can pare it down, and these guys can take one simple concept, but use that concept in a number of different formations. So it makes it easier for the guys to go out and execute.
Geroy, you scored a lot of touchdowns in your career running away from guys. Did you ever do the peace sign? Were you a peace sign guy? Are you peace out, I'm out of here? Or no, is that just a Tevin Jones thing?
No, that's a Tevin Jones thing, and I get on him because I'm like, if you can throw up the peace sign, you better not get caught. So that was one thing I prided myself on. I wasn't a 4-3 guy, but I prided myself on having the speed and endurance to never get caught once I got a lead.
He was on Reed Wilkins' show yesterday. He was talking about it. He goes, I was told that I better not get caught the next time. Because when he went like off the fumble, I was losing my mind on the call. So I didn't even realize he did the peace sign until I saw the replay. And I was like, oh no, peace sign. And he got tracked down to the one. And then on the second one, I saw him do it during the call. I was like, oh man, he went right back to it again.
He did say he ran out of gas.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, it looked like he ran out of gas in the first one. Good effort by Kobe Williams to get back and track him down. But man, congratulations on all the success recently. Keep it rolling, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks a lot for having me. Appreciate it.
There you go. That's Geroy Simon, the general manager of the Elks right now on an interim basis. But both him and Jarius, man, like they have a window here for both of them to prove that, hey, to the new owner who I chatted with briefly in Calgary when he was leaving. He's a funny guy. Yeah, he was a fun guy. Anyway, they got a chance to prove that, hey, look, when we took over, this team became a Grey Cup contender. Why would we not be your general manager and head coach next year? We'll see. There's a long way to go. Yeah, but that's something that's a conversation they've created. So, but
it's an audition too, to
100%.
To an extent, right? Like look what we did, and now look if they can do this and pull this off and get to the playoffs and actually have some success, who's not going to want them?
Yeah, no,
I think, LT's going to probably sign these guys up.
What do you think? 780-218-9999. I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun to be in Edmonton and see the Elks be a competitive team again. Like, I'm hoping the crowd at Commonwealth. I wish I could be in two places at once. Yeah, because I absolutely love doing the Banjo Bowl. Yeah. But I would love to be here to do that game as well. I mean, put me in either one, I guess.
It's going to sound like the Pink concert in there.
But it's going to be, Pink is phenomenal, isn't she?
It was unreal.
My wife saw her at Rogers, I think, a few years back, and she came home and was like, you wouldn't believe the stuff that Pink does. And then I saw all the videos popping up, and
I got.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, you went?
I was slinging dogs.
You're slinging dogs at Pink? Yeah. You. What a guy. Anyway, she's insanely talented.
I'll say it right now. She puts on a better performance than Metallica.
Yeah, she puts on, I think, the best concert going.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think Trent actually from James H. Brown was at that show.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I think he was there. Let's get to That Hurts right now. Trevor, let's bring that up. That Hurts, brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Of course, that hurts. What hurts right now? You can chime in 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You can visit their website, www.jameshbrown.com. Like I said, Trent will probably be on the show tomorrow morning when I'm at the EE alumni golf tournament. So we'll probably, the alumni right now for the Eskimos / Elks, they got to be really liking what they're seeing with this team too, right? It's got to be pretty exciting times, I think, for everybody. Okay, so I guess this is kind of hurts. It's the Esties are coming up. It's a big moment for Edmonton sports talk. Tuesday, September 17th. We've rented Metro Cinema, like the Garneau Theater. We've rented it. You can get tickets. They're only $10. Help us cover the cost of the facility. Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com if you want tickets. Just Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Or you can just go to EdmontonSportsTalk.com and click on Esties. The Esties, the awards themselves should be rolling in here at some point. But yeah, tickets are still available. We are just under 2 weeks away, and it's coming together nicely. But this kind of hurts, I think. One ball Cash is in. The Cash, of course, lost the other one to cancer last year. It says, guys, I jokingly told my wife to join me on the red carpet at the Esties, and now I think she actually wants to come. But I'm not sure if I want her to. What do I do? Are other nasties bringing their wives? That's in from Cash. This kind of hurts a little bit. You're like, hey, you should come to the Esties. And she's like, maybe I will. And you're like, no, I don't want you to come to the Esties. It's a weird that hurts, but it looks like it hurts Cash today.
The ultimate backfire.
Yeah.
I think he's got the green light to go out and.
Yeah. What have you done, man? That being said, why not? Bring her to the Esties. Bring her to the after party at Hudson's on White. It's going to be an absolutely terrific time. My wife's coming. Marshall and the Muzz are coming. They're going to present.
Nice.
But yeah, I think there's other wives coming. We know Sticky Rice is probably going to be there with Norman at Combine.
Sticky Rice.
I think Tommy's bringing a date. I'm assuming Nanso will be bringing his significant. A bunch of people are going to bring their wives.
His friends, roommates.
Trev and Zach are coming together. A fun time. He's bringing his roommate's wife. Jeez, Macramalla, you're killing it.
They will be attending.
Oh,
are they coming too?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Excellent, man. Everybody's coming to the Estes. It's going to be a great time. So, Cash, I don't think you have to be hurt by this.
No.
I think this doesn't hurt. We're calling it that hurts, but I don't think it hurts.
Yeah.
I think it's a great chance. The Estes are going to bring couples together in ways that couples don't come together anymore. And I'm talking black tie events, fancy events. That's what we've got here. It's going to be great.
I think so.
I think it's going to be awesome. So, yeah, definitely bring Andrea's in there. Says, yeah, bring the wife. She'll enjoy it. She will enjoy it. Dan, so what's up, buddy? Yeah, I think she'll enjoy it. Looney Len is in and says, guys, the wife and I are talking about taking the kids to an Elks game, but where does Gage or Sling the dogs? Me and my son would both like to meet him because we watch an EST for a while. I was just going to lie and say just my son, but I'm excited as well. What concession are you at?
Usually I'm at 5.
He's at 5
now. Yeah, I've.
And when people come to concession 5, what's the call? How do they get your attention? Like,
yell my name.
Gager!
Sure.
Gager! Yeah.
I'll.
But they go, Joaquin.
Yeah, that'll work too. That'll work.
Glue Guy's in and says Mrs. Glue will definitely be there. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be tons of wives, Cash. You don't have to worry about that. It's a fancy high class event.
Yeah,
fancy high class event. Are you bringing your wife?
If she's not working, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. There we go. So yeah, bring the wife out. Head down to Hudson's after for a couple of beverages. I know they're going to have the 6 o'clocker lager in the house. They're bringing in some birdie booze for the after party as well. And we're not doing a show the next day.
Perfect.
Yeah, morning show is off. Yeah, morning.
Oh my gosh.
This out.
Sure. You should have never.
He popped out so fast.
I've never seen Trev's head move as fast as it just moves.
Yep. We have the new layout. I don't know if you can see it on the wide shot, but so now I kind of pop my head around the corner just to say hi.
Really?
Guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah, on the wide shot, yeah.
I'm just like, hey.
I'm like, and we want to have a show in the morning because we're gonna do an EST stat, and then we're all gonna come in on the hangover or the hangout, hangover instead.
Call it the hangover.
And yeah, but anyway, yeah. Trev's head was like,
hey, what? That's exciting because we were hinting at this on my last.
Well, what are you
week
supposed to do? Like have an after party and then expect everybody to be in at 5 a.m?
I don't know.
That's irresponsible. It's irresponsible as a boss.
It's kind of how the football, the Super Bowl night went.
Well, we learned our lesson there. Well, you did.
Well,
yeah. You rolled in a little late there. We still, if we do Super Bowl again, I don't know. Maybe we'll do the same thing.
I think it would be cool, like just the hangover, the hangout. I love that. That's that'll stick.
Murray McCord is in and says, guys, I'm bringing my wife too. The Merman, Mrs. Merman. She's coming. So that should be pretty good as well. Waddy in Cloverdale says there's going to be lots of May babies born with the Estes bump. Can you imagine? Hey, guys,
Esty baby.
We've had our Esty baby. That would be incredible.
Oh,
that would be nuts. This is good. Ian is in and says, I told my wife about getting dressed up and hitting the red carpet in an award show, and she was so on board. Let's go. Oh, man. I really want to talk to the people who, like, don't listen religiously and roll into the Estes and are like, what the hell is this? Anyway, see, a segment that started as something that hurts for cash ended up being terrific.
Yeah.
It ended up being absolutely terrific. That Hurts, brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. If you've been injured in an accident, make it simple. Go to www.jameshbrown.com. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff, Bruce and the Dream Team over there. So Bruce texted me yesterday. He's William Huff's your studio sponsor.
Yep.
And he's doing a bit with Reed and Jay as well. And he texted me yesterday, and he said he was driving back from Calgary. And he goes, I was listening to the new shows. He goes, I just have to tell you, man. So he said he missed your show because he was doing some stuff in Calgary. So he's driving back after that. And he said, I have to tell you, man, that Reed Wilkins show is just absolutely incredible.
I know.
And I mean, he's not, if you're going to trust anybody, then trust the guy that makes us look terrific. The fine folks over at William Huff, they've been doing it since 1952. So, you know, they're absolutely incredible. Check them out. www.williamhuff.com is the website. Gager, what'd you learn on the show today, buddy?
I learned that the Estes are a family event. I think that's the biggest thing I'm taking away from today. It's
after party, maybe not so much.
Maybe
I'm
not
talking
so
like
much.
kids.
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
but
yeah. So, but no, this thing's grown to bombastic proportions, and I'm fascinated. I am absolutely fascinated to see what transpires. And do we know about the marquee yet? Can we?
I don't know. I don't know if Maddie's looked at Maddie, have you looked into the marquee at the theater yet? I'm curious. I think he's in a meeting or something.
Even if we, what's the marquee?
Belsey, there he is. Yeah, I was like, who just came in? Belsey, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Yeah, you new baby here yet? No, not yet. Not yet. Anytime now. It's being worked on.
Nice.
The marquee's being worked on. We want the Estes up there. What's that song? The bright lights. Somebody just texted in and said, "Hey guys, is Esty a good name for a baby, boy or girl?" It could be. Oh, what's this little baby? Oh, what's her name? What's her name? Esty. Oh, I love it.
As long as the last name doesn't start with a D.
It took me a while to figure out what you were saying there. All right, 780-218-9999. Let's get to your sound of what a nice Wednesday show today.
That was good.
Real good vibes today on the show. This is a lot of fun. Let's get to your sound of the day if you missed it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, by the way, you know it's good when Gager's already laughing at the sound of the day. I asked earlier, and I've been contacted. Jonty and Victoria said, send me the MP3. I'm going to work on the remix.
Oh.
This is a Teefs back to school song. And it's everything you thought it was. And possibly a little bit more. It's your sound of the day here on a random September 4th, a Wednesday, if you can believe it.
Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides of us. Grab your lunches and your electronic devices and your cell phone. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. You're gonna run into your teachers and your principals. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. You're gonna see your friends and talk about your summers. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. Just remember, you're not allowed to use your cell phones in class. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. Give your parents 8 hours of their day kid free. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. And congratulations to ST in the afternoon. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. And Draisaitl signed an 8-year deal, and the Elks kicked the Stampeders' ass. Doom, doom, doom. Another one rides the bus. Welcome back to school, everybody.
There you go. Welcome back to school, everybody.
If that doesn't get 400 thumbs up, I don't know what does.
I think it did.
Did it?
I think we're already there. Yeah, on the nose right now.
Changing 100. Changing 100.
There you go. Changing to I get it 300 then 100.
Yeah.
And we have a changing 500 clip, right?
I know. Yeah.
We'll get it. We were crushing that during the playoffs. We'll be changing that again quickly. Remember the first 1,000 like show?
Yeah.
You were there, Gager.
I was there.
It's on the wall here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Elizabeth actually said that she thinks you should win.
The Muzz?
The Muzz says
Really?
she thinks you should win Guest of the Year because you were on when we got 1,000 likes.
Thanks.
She loves you. All right, let's get to the text of the day today for A and W. This is a great deal right here. Regular coffee and your choice of a bacon and egg or a sausage and egg for just $4.99. It's on a seeded bun or an English muffin. The choice is yours, but we know it'll be tasty either way. The other day I couldn't decide. So the people are going to hate this, but I was in Victoria and I went to A&W for breakfast.
Oh.
I know there's a lot of fancy breakfast places, but
There is.
I was out for a good walk. I was by myself. I was like, I'll just pop in to A&W, sponsor the show. And I couldn't decide. So I got an egger on a seeded bun and on an English muffin. And I wanted to see which one I liked more. And I think I'm a fan of the seeded bun. But whatever. Don't snooze on this deal. An egger and a regular coffee for $4.99, limited price. Available at participating A&W restaurants in Greater Edmonton area. Text of the day today. Some good Macramalla intros. Some really good ones. Comes down to this, I think. EST legal analyst and guy who wears a gimp suit and a ball gag to court because you dress for the job you want, not the one you have. or EST legal analyst and guy who exists solely as a cautionary tale for others? Which one do you like, Gager?
I like the ball gag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vance Van Vandervan, congratulations. Trev, you got that? Vance Van Vandervan. Save the text, put it in the file. I get in the mix there for text of the year. Next year, obviously, is text of the year voting is going on right now for the Esties coming up in a couple of weeks. I got to go get my tux. Got to turn this thing around quickly here.
Yeah, you do.
I don't really have a ton of time, but I'm going to go tux hunting maybe this afternoon. We'll see what we can
You
find.
renting?
Probably renting.
Yeah.
I might buy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be an Estes next year. How many? So the golf, we did the golf tournament and went really well. We know we're having another one.
Yeah.
The Nasty Bash we've already done too. We know that's coming back. It's a success. I'm assuming the Estes are going to be hilarious enough that we're like, oh yeah, we're doing this again next year. So then why not just buy the tux?
Buy the tux.
Tommy owns a tux.
Yeah, but that's Tommy.
Yeah.
He wears that every Saturday. It's so weird going into Kelly's and seeing Tommy in a tux.
You got to look good at all time. All right, Hangouts coming up. Belzy's here. Tommy's here. Maddie's here. They're all locked. Hernan's already ready. He's locked in. He's getting ready for EST afternoons, and I get to say it. I wasn't on the show yesterday, so I get to say it for the first time. I mean, stay right here on Edmonton Sports Talk all day long. Tune in. iHeart, hang out from 9 to 11. Huge NFL Futures episode of The Lock Shop today with Huss and I. Oil Stream with Tommy and I from 12 until 1. Gager and Hernan with EST Afternoons from 1 until 3. And then the new smash hit Reed Wilkins show, if you missed it yesterday. I mean, Jay is good, but Reed is hilarious. Like Reed is, I didn't realize Reed is as funny as he is. He's just so witty. It's a great show. You're going to love it from 3 to 6. All right here
Sounds
today.
amazing.
It does.
It
Yeah,
does.
I want to kill it with the
Yeah.
commercials and all. It's real nice shows. Real nice shows this afternoon.
Thanks,
all right,
Dusty.
Gager, thanks for being in today, buddy.
Good.
Yeah, thanks for stepping in. Lieutenant Eric, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be coming live at you from the quarry tomorrow with the EE Alumni Golf Tournament. That should be a lot of fun tomorrow as well. For YouTube, Trev and Joaquin Gage, I am Dustin Nielsen. Stick around for the Hangout coming up right away. Have a great day. Take it easy.